Hey guys. Hey Gary. Hey Joe Bomaretto. Let's put them in do cool. Hey Jimmy. Hey, John, Mopar Nut 62. Tonight, I am working on this. 1951 Chevy Fleetline. Building it roughly like the box art. I'm going to paint the body green. I'm going to have a tan interior, but probably going to have it stock on the outside, but have a custom motor on the inside with dual exhaust. Still gonna be the inline that comes with the kit, but it'll be customized. Dual carbs, headers, chrome valve cover, and all that. But this one is from 1998. Hey, Kevin Smith. Erie Siren, hello. Hey, Jamie G.
What's up, Mr. Jonathan?
Hey, Kevin. I think this is my first time seeing what you look like, if I
Is it?
remember. Yeah, I think so.
Guess, no, guess you haven't been watching the past couple of days, huh?
Yeah, I've been busy the past few days.
Jeff tricked me into going on a private chat and seen it wasn't so bad, so here I am.
Next time, just don't trust Fafa.
Yeah. Yeah, what a guy to trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just thought I'd pop in and say hey and before I get ready to feed my dogs. What are you working on now? 51 Chevy?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna basically say stock outside, custom inside.
Never did that one. You gonna do it custom or stock?
kind of both, because
Both.
I'm gonna do a stock look and outside, because I kind of look like that better than the custom version
Yeah.
of the, but
Cool.
a custom option with the inline six. So I'm going to do that in here. Have the option of the dual exhaust. And there's really nothing you can do to customize with the interior other than the steering wheel,
Oh
which I
yeah.
might just stick to the stock steering wheel.
Make your own custom exhaust and split it at the under the car in the back. That's how I did my sixes.
Yeah, because the custom motor, it has a chrome valve cover, dual carbs, has split headers, and then the
Sweet.
option for dual exhaust.
Yeah.
And then there'd be something I've never put into a car before on this kit. There's two, says they are air ducts.
Air
But
ducts.
I guess they go along the firewall and go to the radiator or something.
Ah, little
According to
ram air.
the directions.
Yeah. Cool.
Comes with the moons.
Comes with the what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
The moons.
Oh, the baby moons. Yeah. Chrome reverse baby moon.
I'll probably save the custom tires for something.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah. I
something.
always liked the moon hubcaps. Had them on my wagon here a couple years ago. My Oldsmobile wagon. Modern wheels aren't set up for baby moons. I had to drill holes and put studs in to snap them onto. That was a pain in the butt.
Hey, Bretta. Hey, Boston.
Wow, everybody ganging up, huh? Yeah. Guess I'll stay on here in a minute for a minute till somebody else pops on. Somebody keep you company.
And then there's even custom headlight bezels.
Oh yeah,
They got like the normal stock ones, and then they got the custom ones. Which the custom ones, they're like deeper,
yeah. The French the headlights. Yeah,
and they go deeper
I
into
think
the.
that's what they call that when you French them in, like a tunnel.
Then you got custom grill, custom bumper, custom body pieces. And then you got the exhaust tips if you want to put them on.
I
Which I'm
remember when I remember when I was a little kid, Dad had one of those '51 Chevy parked out in the weeds. I'd be out there playing in it, get stung by bees and everything else. I was so little I could sit in the steering wheel and swing back and forth like a monkey. It was hilarious.
hey Steven.
That was back when cars were cool. I think he even ran that off a 1 gallon can under the hood because the gas tank was rotted. She took what, probably 13 years old then, and the car was rusted so bad that fast. 51 to 64, probably.
Right here are the air ducts.
There you go. Plenty of room for it under that hood.
Yeah.
That little six, yeah.
Mopar said to put a 502 on her hood.
502, probably fit. You done already? I was talking to Roxy. Roxy says, "Hey, Jonathan."
Well, hello back. These are the main
Man,
custom
custom,
motor part.
custom manifolds, yeah.
Yeah, that there's their headers. That's what these are. And there's the custom intake manifold for the dual carbs.
Do they give you two engine blocks where you can do two?
No,
No,
only
that
I
kind of
mean
sucks.
extra carb leftover, extra air cleaner, and extra valve cover because I got one like to paint. stock one, and then
Yeah.
there's a chrome one.
Yeah, those are good old motors. I think they ran that for years, even in their pickup trucks. Is that the 250?
I'm not sure when it comes to the inlines, like what they're called and all that. I just know like inline six. That's all I know.
Yeah, I think it was their 250.
That or a stove bolt six. That's what it
Yeah,
says.
that's probably it. Yeah, it's got the bolts through the top middle of the valve cover.
See on the box it says stove bolt six stage two upgrading performance to
Yeah,
match.
that's different than what I was thinking. Huh.
Yeah, twin Zenith carbs, Nixon intake manifold, dual coil ignition, split headers, and full dual exhaust system. Fend, fend or find a custom valve cover. Probably fine.
Hello, everybody in the chat. Don't want to be rude. Who all's there? I can't see them on my phone here. I don't have my laptop hooked up
Oh,
yet.
no, Mopar Nut, the
Okay.
EG, Bretta,
Brenda,
Bretta, Dragon Queen,
peace.
Aries. I think he's new.
Boston Buds on there.
Mm-hmm. There's Ted, just popped in.
You think
I
it's
mean,
Ted or maybe Amanda? Better be careful.
Maynard's probably in the background.
Amanda. Yeah. Good people, huh?
Mm-hmm. The word cover here on the box, it's I guess they too lazy. I guess make the lettering smaller or move the motor or something because the word cover it's partially on top of the one of the air cleaners on the box. You can tell.
Ah.
I guess I got a misprint or something.
Yeah.
But it's an old kit. It's a kit from 1998, so
Yeah, it's
rental.
probably get a little rough. I never had no experience with that one.
And this was a sealed kit too.
Was it? That's not surprising. That was the era when you get a lot of short shots, bodies with parts missing, and parts of fenders, and half bumpers.
That's decals.
Green flames for the modern day, right? We got green fire now.
And you got Michigan, California license.
Well, that figures. Green flames. You got green flames and California plates. They're gonna be so green they're gonna end up in the ocean, floating by themselves.
Hey, Jay's Mini Garage. 396 in it.
Nobody else to join you, huh?
Let's see.
So you got your license, got truck going and everything. You driving yourself to school and all that now, or what?
Yeah.
Cool. That's always fun time. I remember my time when I learning to drive. Dad teach you on the stick shift?
No.
No.
Well,
What?
very little. Well, that's kind of a little spoiled a little bit with the one I did. Let's say in a 6-speed manual Cummins
Yeah.
deleted that you put it in like third gear, it goes like 15 miles per hour without you putting on the pedal.
Yeah, it can pretty much pull itself in any gear. Yeah.
Yeah, a little spoiled. Other than that, have not driven a stick shift.
Yeah. That's the way I trained my daughter Krista how to drive. She had to drive stick before she could drive. I told her as soon as she could drive without spilling my cup of coffee, she could go on the road. Half a day we were there. She picked it up pretty quick. Now that's all she buys is stick. She's got her little Honda Civic Si, little race car. That thing flies. Got turbo and all that.
Hey, Bama.
I wasn't going to put her in a position like I was in. They got my first job, getting a truck to go get supplies, and didn't know how to drive a stick shift. And I had to learn real quick on my own.
I don't know what it's like to drive a gas stick shift. I just know a
Yeah,
little diesel.
they're not much difference. You just got to have the RPM a little bit before you move the clutch out or let up the clutch. It don't take long. You do it secondhand. Don't even think about it. I quit driving stick when my back went out because my
Gary,
left leg got so weak. Cars these days so easy to push the clutch. It don't matter.
I heard you say RPM.
There he is.
Greetings, guys.
Somebody else to join in.
Gary, we don't talk about that Pacific car.
Pacific. What car is that? Oh, you said not to mention it, right?
Yeah, that would kind of defeat the purpose if we answered it.
Wynn's been saying.
Oh, the Mopar. Yeah.
Hello, Britta.
That's kind of silly. Mopar, no car. I'd rather ride in a car than walk. I don't care what the car is as long as it gets me there.
I've, I've I've owned like 7 or 8 Cutlasses over my lifetime, and
Yeah, that's
other
what I
than an El
drive.
Camino, Monte Carlo, Grand National, or any Chevy, and I've had Cadillacs for 15 years, so
Yeah.
I'm a GM guy.
That's no
Yes.
GM.
That's what I drive, but it's a Cutlass wagon.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Cutlass Cruiser wagon. It's a cool car. Everywhere I go, somebody wants to check it out, or it's the newer wagon, but still,
I,
there's
I wouldn't mind one of them slant back 442s from back in the 80s,
yeah,
the one everybody thinks is ugly,
yeah,
and that's why I'd want it.
yeah. The old hatchback.
Yeah, well, the slant back with the little bubble on the back kind of thing.
Yeah,
They
they had
did
the
the same with the
hatchback
Cadillac Seville,
and the Aero sedan. That
you
was
know,
Pontiac and Olds, I think, had that.
Oh, what like the square triangle rear ends with the
Yeah,
well,
triangle?
it had it on the trunk. Like when it comes down the C pillar, it would just go straight
Like
down to the bumper, and
yeah,
then there was like a bump that stuck out for where the trunk lid was.
yeah. Kind of like a Continental kit.
You know,
like those trying to make a portable ramp.
Yeah, something to
It will
run the bumper up over if you run into it. Yeah,
73 El Camino.
yeah. I've
yes,
always been partial to wagons and trucks and vans. So
nice.
73 to about 77, 78, probably 77 or 76. I don't really care for the El Caminos and Monte Carlos.
yeah.
The Monte Carlos on the 76 were gorgeous, personally.
Oh,
Not,
I had a bunch of
not
Monte Carlos, but boy, were they gas hogs.
Oh yeah, especially if you had a 454 in one of them.
I had a 70, 71, 74, 76.
They were really heavy for a 350 even, but
Back then, you could go in the junkyard and pick the cars that were just towed in and say, hey, I'll give you 150 for that. And they'd let you take it, run it till you blew it up, and go back and buy another one.
the nicest part about the cars from like 82 and older, you can get more people in any one of them cars than you can in any one of these live streams.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, my new wagon's got the puke seat in the back, the backward sitting seat.
Right.
Nobody's ever been in it. It's a 95 olds. It's hell, that thing, they even got 75,000 miles on it yet.
Really.
And it's still, well, it just started rusting, but yeah, it looks like new until you look at the bottom of it. I never drive much. Lucky to go 10 miles a month, maybe. I did the oil change 4 years ago, and I still got 2,000 miles to go.
Yeah, I used to have a 77 El Camino with the like Malibu nose on it.
Yeah,
Pretty decent car. The floors were rotted out. It had switch transmission in it.
yeah,
Had kind of taller truck tires on the back of it for the winter, and went around a right hand corner and the right axle fell out, left
yeah,
me stranded. So I had to get it towed to the house. A
yeah. I
buddy
always,
bought it, put a new rear axle in it instead with a posi on it. Did a couple other things to it, and then sold it back to me for the same price. I'm like, all right, cool. Nice way to get free labor.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
I got pulled over by a cop, and she was like, I'll tell you what, if you take the money that you're going to save from the speeding ticket and all the violations I'm going to give you for this car and either put it into the car or get rid of it. It had car plates on an El Camino. She wanted truck plates, which
Yeah,
is a freaking car. It had no seat belts because there was no floorboard to mount the seat belts to. It had dual exhaust with Harley Davidson mufflers on it instead of actual mufflers or glass packs. It had a crack in the windshield, and there was some other minor issues, but she's like, you can either save the money and get it off the road, or you can take the money you're saving and put it into the vehicle.
yeah.
Either way, get home, get it off the streets, and don't let me see you again in the next 2 weeks unless this thing is completely fixed. I'm like,
I always
And
thought it'd be, I always thought it'd be cool to have an El Camino. Then I got thinking about it. It's like, I buy an El Camino, then I'll put a cap on it. So I might as well just buy a wagon. But then the cap isn't removable.
right.
So pretty much stuck with the wagon or the van. My
Yeah,
favorite van was always the Astro vans.
I used to have the topper for mine for when I got it for about 2 months, maybe 3 months, and then I was supposed to carry some ladders and a few bundles of
Yeah.
shingles to go finish a job. And I'm like, well,
I'll
if
be
I
back in
took
a minute.
if I take
Sorry.
the topper off, I can get the ladder in the back. If I put it on top, I got nothing to strap it to.
Yeah. I'll be back in a minute. I got to help her. So.
Caminos and money. Probably about around 77, 78 when I start liking them again of how they look.
Yeah, once they got out of the round into the more square.
Mm-hmm. And then the Monte Carlos and El Camino, especially the SS. When he had the SS front ends.
It's funny how back in the day in the 60s, SS Super Sport really actually meant something. And then you get into the mid 70s and early 80s, SS was just a trim package. you know, you didn't really get more horsepower, you didn't get better suspension, you just got a trim package. One of my favorite Cutlasses only had the little 3.8 in it. I knew it wasn't a hot rod. I knew I couldn't do burnouts in it, and I drove that thing respectfully. And I had that car for about 3 years. And then I got one that a buddy had put a 305 in it, and I thought it was fun because it had more power and torque, but it still wasn't worth much. Boston Buds.
Austin Bud. Is he going to join us on screen today, or is he chicken?
Chicken.
He's chicken.
Well, I definitely have the mullet, and I got a Kraco headset, but I'm not sure about the Billy Ray Cyrus part being part of the law.
You're not going to get much of a mullet here.
What's up, Richard?
Hey, Richard.
Richard. Hello, Richard. Is that the northern Richard?
I can't verify.
I can't see the comments. I'm not on my other device. I quit advertising for them people, saying what it is. just say it's my favorite color.
My El Camino or my Monte Carlo was a 78,
Yeah.
78, 79. It had that real swoopy trunk on it.
Yeah.
It was decent, you know. I mean,
That's the
I wouldn't
smaller
kick
ones?
it out of bed. I mean, it was no different than the Cutlasses and the Monte Carlos and the
Trying to
Buick
think,
Grand
is that
Nationals and things. So
is that the smaller one?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, the little squared ones.
it's
We had
kind of like the Class Act model that they got out, you know.
my boss I worked for in Toledo, and he bought one of them brand new, pulled it in the shop and ran in the office to get something. We opened the hood and switched the spark plugs around on it, or the wires. He'd come back out and get it. It started backfiring. He called the dealership and everything, all pissed off.
Richard said he's the UK Richard, so he's not the northern one.
I think I got somebody coming in here. I think.
Tell Roxy I said hi.
No, I thought my daughter was coming in. She must have been a neighbor pulling in their driveway.
Where's just would stay. I'm trying glue. It's called the package shelf to
Package tray. Yeah.
Yep, behind the
and
back seat.
Back where we used to lay when we were little.
I played with a lot of Hot Wheels up there.
Yeah. You lay up there and mom would stop fast. You go flying like, whoops.
Later, Jimmy.
Yeah, the old package tray. That was a good place to ride.
And this is not one day.
Not the safest place.
I can try and get it to hold there for a little bit. Try to let go and then it moves.
Yeah. And sometimes you put your parts together, pull them apart, stick them again, they'll hold better. Kind of string the glue a little. You know what I mean? Then you could end up with a web of strings too.
The one thing I hate is when you need 4 hands to put 2 parts together.
Yeah.
You know, like the roll cage and certain other parts or something, you know, where you got to hold like 2 pieces and you're trying to glue the middle piece. So you need like 4 hands. It's like, come on.
There you go. Looks like it's going to hold.
The stock car that I just built, I've always known from a Scale Auto magazine article, in fact, that you assemble the roll cage, but you don't glue it to the chassis so that you can paint the whole cage as a solid unit and then put it onto the chassis.
Yep.
So when I was building this one, it has a firewall and some weird bracketry for the back and some other stuff. And it took me a little while, but seems the back roll bar that goes across behind the seat and the backs of the side roll cages were all one plane. There was nothing sticking out past it. So I had the back part on the table and then both of the sides standing upright with my brush cleaner on each side.
Yeah.
You know, because they're square bottles. So I'm like, cool. If they're square against the bottles and the bottles are square against the bottom, everything should be just fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I either use the square bottles or my 1, 2, 3 blocks to hold things square.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a metal plate on my desk because then I can cut on it and everything else with no problems and use the magnets, you know, the 90-degree magnet blocks.
That's what the 1, 2, 3 blocks are good for. They're drilled with a bunch of holes on each side. You can clamp on them and all kind of stuff.
Right.
And magnets. I tend to stay away from magnets, but
yeah, the worst part is, you know, if you got like rare earth magnets and you're trying to slide them around, they're hard to move.
Yeah. Well, I was told when they put that implant in my back to stay away from big magnets. So some people would say bah, but don't ever go through security with one. It's like a pacemaker, but it's for your back.
Right. Well, everybody's got their own things to deal with, and that's why I stay away from opinions because everybody's got one and they all think they're right, and none of them have a clue about what you're dealing with. So it's just an opinion, and it doesn't matter.
Well, I got a story about that. I had to go to court after a crash I had, and a security guy ran his wand over that thing and turned it on, and I stood there shaking and everything else because it turned the electricity up on at full blast, and I didn't have my remote with me to turn it down. I kept
Oh,
telling him, I said, hit it again, see if it turns it off, but it wouldn't. So I had to sit in court with that thing shocking me. He's like, the good side of that was I got out without a fine and a
nice.
penalty. The judge said, man, you're in bad shape. He says, get out of here, case closed.
Right.
So I've had that instance, I believe, 99. My buddy just had one put in last week because he had some kind of arrhythmia with his heart. They put the same thing in, but his is set up to as a pacemaker. They
One
look
thing I
identical.
found, Jonathan, is once you get a part like almost exactly where you want it, set it down and don't touch it. The more I
That's
mess
right.
with it, the more I bump it, and the more it messes up.
Let it sit where that
Back,
joint ain't under stress. Yeah.
Yeah.
put the back seat on. I was like, that'll probably keep it in place.
Yeah, that'll definitely get the right angle and everything.
I
Yeah.
did say joint, right, Buds? I know he's in the chat probably.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, figured.
So the body on this Chevy is going to get a gloss spring green color,
Spring
Spring
green, like
green.
a light minty, bright kind of green.
something like that. I'll show you in a minute. Interior, I'm going to go with tan.
Nice.
That's kind of how it is on box art. So I was like, nah, we'll go with that.
A lot of them old cars like that had gray interiors. A lot of them. That was pretty common.
I've
Yeah,
seen
sometimes they had a shade of body color. Like if you had a
Yeah.
blue car, it might have a blue interior. Red
Usually,
on red was very common.
yeah.
I, at a
Usually had a
car.
white steering wheel. I remember that. I'll
Yep.
never forget the steering wheel on one of them. My little jungle gym.
That's what I loved about the late '60s cars. They all had that like bakelite clear steering wheel thing.
Yeah. Plus they were
Those
huge
things were
like a bus.
Yeah, those things are just
Big.
gorgeous looking, man. You get the light flashing off of them, and they got little sparkles in them and stuff.
Yeah, work of art. I know my '63 Mercury Turnpike Cruiser had one of them. I guess it looked like lucite. Man, that was the neatest
Lucite,
steering wheel.
that's what it is. Lucite,
Yeah,
yep.
had the steering wheel with the chrome horn ring with the Mercury head in the middle. That was the prettiest dashboard in any car I ever owned. Had
When I
like the
built my
aqua colored
when
greenish
I built
blue
my
lighting.
'65 AMT Bonneville kit, the
Yeah, those were
interior
nice.
was pretty sparse. I mean, even the door handles and the window cranks were so non-existent almost.
Yeah,
So instead of putting their steering wheel on, I found a round clear ring from like the Buick Riviera,
yeah,
and I grabbed that and I painted it in my clear blue, and it has that lucite look to it. You
yeah,
know, made my own little door handle, window crank stuff, and a few other. The floor mats. I went and I looked for '60s Pontiac floor mats, and I found the shapes and designs. So I just mocked them up on paper and then drew all the lines and then colored it.
yeah, yeah. That was back when cars had personality and they changed body style every fall.
Mm-hmm.
Get all excited to go to the dealer to see what the new cars look like.
Right.
That ain't happening no more.
It was
Rock,
crazy too, because if you look at the history of like the '65, '66 Bonneville, pound and horsepower per dollar,
yeah,
it was equivalent to the Cadillac, and the only reason the Cadillac was more was because of the name.
yeah.
It
Well,
had as much luxury, as much power, and so much freaking style. you know?
look at it. Look at the difference between the '64 and '5 Fords. I mean, go from
Yep.
quad headlights that are laying down to vertical. It's like
Right.
what a difference. How did they afford to change them designs every year? It's crazy.
Well, that's kind of what I liked about the Chevy thing. They ran with a simple design for 10 years minimum, only refine it, Whereas like Porsche with the 911, they stuck
Yeah.
with one design and they still run that design.
The reason I'm not a fan of them. I
Right. I
like,
mean, they've refined them and refined them and refined them and
yeah,
refined them to the point where if it wasn't for Corvette being a much more powerful, cheaper sports car option, the Porsche is very, very
yeah.
refined.
They
You
just
know,
seem kind of blah and boring to me.
well, yeah, I'm not a Porsche
Sound
fan.
like a VW. Not a big fan of that and the Porsche.
Jonathan said we ain't talking about them.
We'll end up in a car brain war. You go too far into. I just for the money, I can't see the excitement in the Porsches and Corvettes. And
Yeah, some people are all about status.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, I'm all about cheap.
I'm not a
Get me there, and look decent. You don't have to look stupid doing it, but
right?
I'm not a big fan of C4 to C8 Corvettes, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
own C4 to C7 Corvette before I own a C8
yeah.
because the motor's up front with those. But
Well,
I'm going
the old
to see.
67s and then go into the Stingrays with 68 and 9. Those weren't too bad, but I still couldn't see it. It just seemed
Well, the
silly to me.
68 to 72 body style is probably my favorite. I'm
Yeah,
not
as
so
far as
fond
roads.
of the 70 on back window
Yeah,
where they had the bigger back window on it. I like the 68 970 style,
yeah,
but once they got into that bigger back window, but they kept the front nose on it. To me, that was the look of the Corvette that I liked.
yeah. Well,
The 63 to 7, not bad. I really enjoy it. They just sit really high, you know.
to me, it's a car like the old Jags and that with those KEs. I mean, that's the perfect car for you there if you want to go into status. I mean, the shape of it's perfect. I mean, it costs a lot of money, but plus it's made out of steel or aluminum. You know, you're not buying some bathtub thing. I'll probably get everybody mad saying that, but old
The only
five.
modern car I would buy has some status, but I wouldn't buy it for the status as much as I like the look of it. Is the modern Chrysler 300C.
Yeah,
Big, boxy, looks like it's got a chop top. It's squared off front and rear.
yeah,
It's not all super aerodynamic and rounded. It's just classy looking.
yeah.
You know, and with a Hemi in it, it's potent.
That's why I say if it looks good and gets you there, why would you make some fun of somebody else's car? You know.
All right. I remember the one time my girlfriend was looking for a car to buy, and she was like $4,000 to $5,000 range, and every car lot we went to had one of them Chryslers on it, and they were like 9 to 12 grand. I'm like, dang
The K
it!
cars.
No, the Chrysler 300C.
Oh, okay.
The modern 4 door. Some of them had V6, some of them had Hemis, whatever.
Oh,
But
I know what you mean. Yeah,
yeah, it's like a luxury car, and
kind of like
honestly, it
the
really
Dodge
is if you get
Magnum,
the
and then
upgrade.
yeah. Now the Magnum wagon that seemed kind of cool to me. That's something I might go for.
The Magnum, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, the little wagon or big wagon, I should say.
Technically, it is a big wagon.
Yeah,
Things
that's pretty big
I've built a
compared to
beautiful one
mine.
of
It's
them
big.
before. And I wouldn't mind another kit of that. I want to say it was 98, 99
Yeah.
Magnum.
Oh, I gotta get these dogs fed. I'm gonna jump off here. I might come back in later, Jonathan.
All right.
I'm probably keeping people out. They don't want to talk to me, I guess.
All
Okay, we'll talk to you all later.
All
right,
right.
there, Kim.
Peace.
Hey, Angry.
Angry Yank.
When it comes to the newer cars, if I were to own one, it would be, of course, the newer Camaros, the newer Chargers, and then the Challengers.
Yeah, see, none of those three did anything for me.
Other than that, probably won't really buy anything.
I mean, if I was to buy one of them three, it'd be the new Trans Am. It's still a Camaro. It's just got a Trans Am body kit on it. Yeah, I like the older stuff. To me, it had more class, more style.
Hello,
Chrome,
everybody.
Hey, Bob.
Bobby. How was Bobby today?
All right.
All right.
Yeah, not dead.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I'm all right.
You must be getting pretty close on finishing up that plane there, ain't Bob?
Yeah, probably tomorrow be finished. I'll get it. I'm doing the paint touch-ups now. Let that dry. Get a matte finish put on it probably later tonight before I go to bed, and then do the final assembly on it tomorrow.
Cool, cool.
And
And
the
it's on
details
to
that I
the
can't put on till the end, like the pitot tube and stuff like that, they can't go on
right.
until the very end.
And then it's on to something else until the first, huh?
Yeah. Well, I got uh, Kenny May sent me a link for an epoxy sculpt that's a lot cheaper than the Ames. So I'm going to try that on my Draco the Dragon, so I can get back on him.
Cool.
That was the big thing. Big thing slowing me down there is it's going to take so much filler work, and epoxy sculpt for 2 pounds is like $45.
Wow. Yeah, you showed me the gaps and stuff on that the other time.
So
Definitely needs some filling work.
yeah, two little cups of it, like not much bigger than a Tamiya bottle, is $10 for the Ames epoxy sculpt. So I'll save that for the final. I know it's a quality product, that I can do fine sculpt the fine details in.
Right.
So I'll save it for the final layer when I got the carb in all the scales and such.
Right.
And I'll use the cheaper stuff to do
The majority filling.
the filler. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always thought about using actual fiberglass to make a mold of a body, and then turn around and put the release agent on it and build the body out of fiberglass.
It'd probably work.
I don't see why I wouldn't. I mean, that's how they make fiberglass parts, but I don't have a vacuum sealer. That's what they make Dremels for.
You can vacuum seal almost with a trash bag and a hair dryer.
Yeah, you normally use like a vacuum cleaner or a shop vac to suck all the air out if you're sealing it. That just makes sure that they're solid up against the mold and no air bubbles and stuff like that. Not really a major issue if you're working with thin strips of fiberglass in the first place. In the last couple of years, when my buddy was here and we did uh, picture transfers onto real super thin aluminum sheets, once the picture was on there, we'd flip it over and we'd put the fiberglass mesh on the back in resin and stuff. So I have a whole bunch of that resin and fiberglass scraps laying around. So it's like, shit, I can make something out of it.
I'm gonna go paint, so I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Okay. He'll be here.
I am very afraid Kevin's here.
Ah.
Which
Hey,
Bonneville
Britta.
kid is that, Angry Yank? Which year?
Bad.
65. Is that the AMT kit? Because honestly, if it's regardless of the price, they had them at Walmart and ended up in the discount section. So most people got them for like $9, $12, whatever they were. Just because the price is cheap doesn't mean the kit is. 'Cause it's actually a pretty good kit. Just
A lot of
really
stuff
low
just
detail.
overstock.
Yeah. Andrew,
Hey,
how
Andrew,
goes it? How you doing today, Andrew?
good.
Don't be lying to me. Should be doing great.
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
This is the color the body's going to be. Here, this type of green,
Ah, cool.
gloss spring green.
Cool. Yeah, I was thinking it would be a little more like the highlighter bright green, but yeah, that's cool.
Like it's not like a real light green, but it's not really a dark green either. It's like in between.
Right. Medium. You working on your Corvette, Andrew?
No tank.
On a tank?
Mm-hmm. If you get
You
prepared.
You gonna have a little missile shooting out of it? Oh, nice. Look at that. You got more skills than me. I haven't even
always
bothered
one.
building a tank. Yeah, I won't be doing the KMA decals or anything like that, but I think I'm going to do the 66 Chevelle wagon for the Terry build.
that'd be cool.
Probably load it with a bunch of paranormal activity stuff.
And then this one. This one's the Audacious.
Cool.
Cool. Look at that. That little laser firing. That's pretty nifty, man. Yep. Gotta get two of them and fly them around after each other.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we see you there, Britta. We see you. There's nothing wrong with that, Angry Yoink. If you're the one paying for the kit, you buy what you like, and that means you gotta be picky. So be it.
Yeah, Pontiac, so you kind of sometimes you got to take what they got. There's not a huge selection of Pontiacs out there.
Right. Like you did the 66 Bonneville?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a House of Gala kit.
Yeah, when you were building that, I'm like, it should be a 65. What's he mean 66? And then I realized, I'm like, okay, yeah, totally different car. Almost totally different.
Yeah, those House of Gala 66 cars, they're basically designed to be backdrops for the resin girl figures.
Right.
So they're all curbside and they're not super detailed, but they look nice. They won the first place at the IPMS show, so I'm not going to bitch.
Hey, heck yeah, man. That's a good deal.
But yeah, there's just not. I mean, when you get outside past the GTO and the Firebird, there's not a whole lot of Pontiacs out there available.
Right. Now there's the Fiero.
I built those too. I had one of those. They were actually kind of decent little cars.
Actually, they are. Yeah. But you're right. You know, the Firebird and Trans Am and the GTOs. I mean, it's not like we get Le Mans and Tempest kits, you know.
Well, with the Le Mans and the Tempest, you can get like the Protoet and the GTO. These were the same for the Le Mans. Most of the Le Mans and Tempests were
Yeah,
GTO.
the GTO was more or less a package deal versus.
Yeah, it was a trim level,
Yep.
so you could sand off all the badges on the GTO and put the Tempest and Le Mans photo etch badges on it.
Right.
Thank you, Dragon King.
Yeah, I thought about that with this stock car that I'm doing because Pole Barn Garage also has a gold one that he's had since high school. And I thought about painting this car in that color, but that one is so nice, there's no reason it would ever see a dirt track. Whereas the Holy Goat, being as rough as it was, would have been perfect to throw a roll cage in and take it out to the track, you know? And I was touching the paint around my car today, not on the car but around it, the overspray stuff. It doesn't feel as tacky, but I'm still gonna wait another day before I start scuffing it. Try and sand through some of the orange to bring out some of the primer that I got behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went with a deep burgundy purple and a little bit of brown and tan color underneath it for the rust.
That's not how you put them on there, brother.
And then once I get that far, then I can take my ink pen and start making bullet holes everywhere.
Link and link trace.
Well, Dalton from Pole Barn Garage wouldn't do the drag strip. He's actually been at the duct tape drags with it, so that's an irrelevant one. But I'm talking about late night Saturday night sideways on a dirt track kind of race track.
I would much rather you have a band track than a link and link. What are you doing?
I agree, Mike. 65 to 7 GTOs are great looking cars.
So hold on, you gotta
Even the 64 boxy one, that was the one that had to compete against the Ferrari GTO to earn the name, and it won.
Well, you can make a good argument that the GTO was the original muscle car.
Yeah.
And it was purely by accident. The GTO was intended to be, was marketed to women.
Well, the GTO stands for Grand Touring Olamagata, which is meant for long road trips and comfort, not necessarily high performance stuff. But
the Rebel 66 GTO is an older kit, but it's really good.
Yep.
Um,
and it's the only one with that tail light.
Yeah.
You need to put them together.
The new
or else it won't.
the new repop of the 69 GTO is pretty good. If you can find the older one, it was a 2-in-1 kit. It had the parts for the 68 in it also.
Nice.
The 68 and this, because the body was the same, it was just the front and rear roll pans were different.
Right.
The headlights and taillights were different. But the GTO 69 GTO 2-in-1 kit had the 68 parts in it. Of course, the Round 2 just came out with that new Craftsman Series 68 split. And Iceman has brought out the non flapper headlight front end piece for that AMT 68 GTO.
Right. Well, I'm kind of a firm believer that the 64 GTO was kind of the first muscle car, but we can't forget the 63 Dodge 330 Super Sport. It just wasn't so much a corner carver as much as it was a drag strip factory wicked car,
Yeah, we have just blow them off, Britta. Let the haters hate and just forget about them.
You see that little notch? Mm-hmm. The little notch. That little notch
Yeah, I have all the GTOs through 69. I don't have any of the 70, 71, 72 kits. I don't have any of those.
The
Just never
MDC
gotten.
version's not bad kits, honestly. The AMT one actually comes with the little Christmas tree for drag race.
Yeah, this 67 does the Weekend Warrior edition.
Oh,
Yeah,
the Weekend Warrior. Yep, yep.
this is a Christmas tree in it. Yeah, I just have never got around to buying the 70 through 73 or 72, whatever.
Nice orange, Joe.
I'll be right back, guys.
Orange. I'll always paint my Chevrolet motors for my model kit.
And
Then,
some of them were blue.
and yeah, for my Fords, I always paint them blue. And
Now,
when it comes
there's some Chevy motors that were blue, and then Oldsmobile and Pontiac. Well, Pontiac was definitely blue, but Oldsmobile had some gold ones.
You gotta get them to fit right.
now, when it comes to Dodge, it all depends on what the what the car
It's not
is.
right. It's not right yet.
Yep.
Like some of the like wedges or six packs, orange.
Right.
But if it's
There it goes.
like plain like stock motor, like not even like a muscle car engine, I'll probably search up that motor and see what it is. Like
Right.
for example, like 78 Dodge pickup truck I built about a half ago. I searched up like what the motor color was for it, and it was from what I got, it was like a light blue, so I painted up the motor like colors.
Yep. About the color of your gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're doing a 318, most of those were blue. Some of the 6-cylinders were blue as well.
Can't use a quick set when you do tracks, because you want it to be loose so that you can turn it. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You tell him, Lewis.
Yeah, he's learning to do link and length tracks,
Oh,
which is not really.
that's tedious.
It is.
Tell him, Lewis.
Here, Dad, you do it.
It'll get to that point.
It might if it's every link. Oh my God.
It'll get to that point where I'm going to bed.
Have a race. You do one set of tracks. Let him do the one that's already started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could put that many pieces of track together.
Oh,
It'd be like, I know they got a rubber ring that looks like tracks. Come on now.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him. I prefer band tracks for him.
Right. And Fred Henry, greetings.
You see the big one, the long one?
Black stuff painted.
I don't know, Andrew. If I were you, I'd take that little X-Wing fighter thing and start pew, 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 pew in that thing. What do I think of this tank? Pew, 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 pew.
All right.
Blue Ridge.
Let's just think on there.
Got gloss black, tan.
So you want to use the non-quick setting. You're going to use that one. Well, you're gonna put just a tiny, tiny tad so that we can flex it. Okay?
Okay.
It's kind of like you said. It is tedious.
Or the washing machine was doing the "come help me" beat. Come help me.
Yeah,
The load was off balance.
A little bit, okay. And then on the other side. There you go. Okay. Let me see.
Okay. Where was I? Landing gear.
You ever use zinc chromate paint color on your airplanes and things?
Zinc chromate? Yeah.
Yeah, I found that to be a neat looking color. It's kind of a yellowish green, almost metallic looking.
That's what's inside the
Landing gear.
landing gear bays and on the flat
Yeah.
recesses and
Like that.
inside the.
Just let it move. And
Technically, that's the green chrome, not the yellow chrome.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks a little more green to me, but
The green chromate because I don't like the yellow chromate that I have. It doesn't
not
look
the
right.
same.
It doesn't look right to me, so I use the green.
starting to stand up.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
That's how it's going to stand up, just like that.
The yellow chrome I have, it looks really good on cars as a paint color, but it doesn't on airplanes. It just doesn't look right.
Right.
Even sometimes it's not bad to lay it down. That's why you don't want to get glue all over. You just little tip. Just go ahead and put it down. I'll be able to get it.
Fred Henry says hello, Andrew and Lewis.
Hey, baby.
Hey, Pappy.
Yeah.
You know who
Hey.
that is?
No. Patty.
Pappy. The guy with the blue truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now you're gonna do the
Tell
same.
him, Andrew. Say pew 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 pew.
You gotta get it and fly it across.
Shots fired.
I do.
Pew, pew, pew. Jason, greetings.
Everybody has their own sound effect.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we make sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, adds to the fun.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now we do it on this one. Okay, hold on. Oh, give me a second.
Fred's doing a commission build. Cool.
Just tap it just barely, and then on the inside just barely. You don't want it too rough. There you go.
Okay.
Well, that's the best. That's the best glue that I found to use for this. Is a Tamiya slow setting, because you can still work it. And see how it's going to bend. As it dries, it's going to keep that bend, and then you just keep adding a little bit more every time around till you go all the way around. Okay, so it's going to take a little bit for it to grab. Whereas if you do the quick set, it'll grab it and it won't let you move it. Does that make sense?
How's Jason doing tonight? And thanks for grabbing a bunch of that snow out of the sky. We didn't get a whole lot.
You see how it's starting to grab that?
Mm-hmm.
And now it'll let you.
Okay. Retire that one.
It is a little bit bent, so we'll just kind of straighten it. All right.
Hey Bob,
Yes.
You can
have
ask.
you seen that glue that they sell at the model section in Walmart's?
You can ask.
My Walmart around here don't have a model section.
Once they stop talking.
Okay,
you can
because
ask them what they're
I
working
like the orange tube that you got there personally.
Yeah.
with.
But I want to know if the stuff they
That's what
sell
he's
at Walmart
looking
in the
at. And then
different
Jonathan up there.
design, shape, package, whatever, if it's the same as that or not.
But you don't. I can't see what kind of color.
I use this primarily when I want an extra strong joint, like for my landing gear. and just to piss off people on YouTube.
That's
It definitely bonds parts together. It'll do that.
What are you guys working on?
What am I working on, Andrew? I'm working on an airplane.
Yeah, see, that's Paul.
It's a
What kind of plane is
P-47.
that?
It's a P-47 Thunderbolt.
P-47 Thunderbolt. We saw a couple of those at this show.
Yeah, those all. You call yourself a modeler and you're using orange tube to cement? Yeah, I sure do.
I have some of the blue tube stuff. I'm just not fond of
No,
the
the blue
orange
stuff is junk.
Yeah.
The sniff proof stuff, it is junk. It won't stick two pieces of paper together.
That's the only thing when you do
I have
truck,
one of
when you
them
do Lincoln
Model
like this,
Masters
you
needle tip ones.
do a
That
lot.
one I like to
You
use
got
a
to do
lot.
them a little bit and then let them set.
It's starting to run low, so I try to save it for.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like the Fowler, which is the same as the Revell
Others
contacted glue, and
have 1, 2,
all the Tamiya's and
5.
Aleene's tacky glue. I got Canopy glue. I got more glues than I know what to do with. UV
Right.
pure resin,
And
Gorilla glue, wood glue.
5 A19.
Elmer's glue,
So it's gonna be
Mod
5
Podge.
these
Yeah.
guys here.
Yeah, about the only thing I don't have is like school glue because that stuff breaks down over time.
And
I use it for my headlights.
now,
Well, actually, I got
I
clear
don't know
Elmer's glue, not
one of those
necessarily
stuff,
school glue.
but
No, the straight up washable school glue will.
it's easier.
It's designed to break down over time because it's
See.
for kids to use.
So that's what you're gonna end up
And it
having.
can, it'll yellow and
You know,
break
And
down over time.
and you
But the
file
regular, they're all purpose.
that
The regular Elmer's all purpose I have.
like that.
I don't even know where the bottle is. The Aleene's tacky glue. I use that a lot for white glue purposes. That's my
You can't cut the piece.
standard PVA glue, and then of course I've got
yeah.
the Formula 560 Canopy glue.
Jason uses panel bond. It'll never come
There you
apart.
go. Just be very careful
Yeah.
not to cut the plastic that you use.
I got a couple. I got 3 or 4 different viscosities of CA.
Yep.
But yeah, the orange tube is. I like to use the orange tube for something I'm going to fill a gap, like a fuselage seam on an airplane because it's so long,
Right.
so pronounced. Because it'll gap fill and it's a strong joint, or like things like this, like the landing gear where I want a good solid bond.
I've never really had an issue with the orange tube stuff myself.
Never.
Except for, I will admit, trying to take a glue bomb apart and clean it up. That part I've had issues with.
No, that's the one where if you throw it in the freezer for a couple days, it'll pretty much pop apart.
Well, I've had to do that many a times, but still, there's plenty of times where that tester, you can tell whoever built it just blobbed it on. It's like, oh my god, plastic gets melted and warped.
I dropped.
Yeah.
I know where it is.
You dropped one? Okay. Well,
It's okay. I know one.
sometimes they give you a couple extra ones,
I kind of know.
or we can go online and probably find it.
They make lots of different glue for lots of different projects. All depends on what you're building and why. That's a heck of a bounce there, Yank.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Good idea, Kevin. Pew 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 pew.
Beep, 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 beep.
I'm sorry, I'm a kid. I gotta play.
How are those?
Huh?
You have no one? I'm on. Getting back to you.
In the garage. Yeah, I'll get the old one.
You're gonna be able to see all kinds of things you put them on.
Dig!
Yeah.
Game! I'm seeing now! I can see you!
Good,
Cool.
good. Yeah, save your eyes now because you'll regret it later if you don't.
Is Ryder in the kennel?
Yeah. Dig, I can see you guys.
Yeah, you should definitely be able to see a lot easier with them things on. Comes in
They make
handy when
everything
you're.
look bigger in here.
Kevin.
Dr. Andrew.
Surprised Jeff hasn't swung by yet.
Yeah, haven't seen him in the chat at all.
Well, he was talking about there getting a big storm up that way. So if it is, he might be out plowing, or might have been out plowing all night long and just sleeping.
Yeah, we had that little storm come through, and there's still grass spots showing. So it wasn't much. I think Jason took all the snow out of the sky for me, so I didn't have to deal with it. I'm not blaming. I'm just saying.
And it seems around here when they tell you that the sky is falling, that you get a dusting, and when they say, "Oh, you might get a little on the grass," you wake up to 8 inches on the ground.
Right?
Okay, that black gray.
Look at that happy face.
Look at that face.
He's smiling.
He's smiling. God, folks. I don't know all God looks so. No. No. I'm gonna try to make it sing off books and 10 guys.
No, Jason, Andrew is actually building a tank.
Yeah, he's getting prepared for war. I'm gonna try to make it 10 guys sing off books.
Cool. I think Lewis might end up being the one to build the tracks, though.
Yeah, you got tracks on almost.
Cool. Hey, Teddy.
Hey, Ted.
Tracks are on.
Yep. Looks good, man.
Oh, I need it to put it on the shelf. You need a what? It's not used.
Jonathan gonna have to sit and wait for paint to dry now.
Yeah.
Waiting for my hand to dry. Don't take too awful. So I can use my other paint stand to put more parts on there for gloss black. One of my hands to dry because I got a well painting.
Ooh, I might not have enough.
That sounded like an empty can, Bob.
And y'all's talking about getting snow and all that. I'm sitting here starting to sprinkle rain.
Did you even get any snow this winter, Jonathan?
Yeah, a little bit. Got enough to do some inner tubing.
Nice.
Like flying down a hill.
Yeah, we don't even bother inner tubing on the snow
What kind of car are you
anymore.
working on?
Jonathan's working on a Chevy, right? 51 Chevy.
Yeah. Andrew.
There you go, Andrew.
Machete?
Yep. A ball spring bring for the body, a Canford interior, custom building the motor, going dual exhaust. Stock
Like work on this one? Huh? That work on this one?
Yeah, that's the battery there.
I think that's the same one that Mike from the Hot Rod Shop is building. Got it slammed down, big side pipes on it.
There's like 2-3 people in my building that right now. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike from the Model Speed Shop.
Yep.
And you got, I think, Ed. He's doing it. He's doing his making a front that flips up.
Cool.
There we go. Good. These are going on a box.
Huh? Why? Oh.
Okay, I had just enough lacquer to get this thing done.
Just enough. Cool.
That means now I got to make another trip to a hobby shop. Damn. I hate
Well, that just means there's going to be another stash ad video.
That was so loud.
I haven't had added anything to my stash in a while.
The only thing I got coming is that 50 AMT 57 Bel Air that I ordered to fill out my
$50 order. Yeah.
Hobby Lobby order for the free shipping.
Yeah, you'll like that kit. It's pretty good.
Then I had to order 35 more alligator clips because I was like 75 cents short of the $50.
They wouldn't sell you candy bars? You don't have an impulse aisle at the checkout online?
Well, they were $2.99 for 35 of them, so I figured that was all right. Not like I won't use them.
Right.
I already got all the sticks already.
I had to replace the clips that were on my extra hands, the little stands with the clips on them. I had the original clips that were on there were there for probably 15 years or better. And after all that spray painting, I could barely even open them enough to put a toothpick in them anymore.
That's what a lot of these are. They'll barely. You have to like really press on them to get them to break the paint loose before they'll open.
Yep.
Once you get them open,
they end up looking like a big fat bumblebee almost. They go from an alligator clip to a hippo clip.
Is it on the west?
It's on. When did you turn on?
On TV.
It's tomorrow.
silver paint.
Fine diamonds. Come on, Mom. What you
I
say?
just can't do that.
Aluminum. There's aluminum.
Pew 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 pew. So you got a bunch of people jumped in on your dragster group build there, John?
I'll get into that as soon as I go to a car show in 2 weeks. I'm going to pick up a dragster. I want a funny car. I think I want to build.
Cool.
I don't happen to have one, so I'll try and pick one up at the show. If not, as luck would have it, on the way home from the show is Mark Twain Hobby Shop. So if I don't find anything at the show,
Nice. I thought we had our Autorama show last weekend. Come find out it's this weekend. I don't think I'll be able to go up there for that, but I ain't got no money for it either.
Hey, Don.
Don! I was the man from Alabama.
Man.
Yeah.
Sweet home Alabama.
Sound like Jeff.
Yeah, Alabama.
Ask him when the model show is in Anniston.
What's the next monster in Anniston? What's the next monster show?
the next model show for me is in St. Louis on April 9th, I think it is.
They're gonna have some model display and some vendors up at the car show, up at the one this weekend. But like I said, I don't think I'll be able to get there. I don't know if they have
I think we have one in
pre-registration or same
Anniston.
day, and I'm pretty sure if anybody went with me, nobody'd want to stick around and wait. So it's not like I'd be competing. And since that's the case, I see no reason to bring any of my cars up there to display. Take a chance of breaking them, getting them there and back.
It's Don's birthday. Happy birthday, Don.
It's Don's birthday. You
Let's
know,
see,
them things make you old.
how young are you?
He's got to be every bit of 22, 23. With about 20 years, 40 years experience at it. Well, happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha. Keep singing.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to
Cha
you.
cha cha.
Happy birthday, dear Don.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to
Cha
you.
cha cha.
Thanks for the duet, Andrew. Happy birthday, Don. Yeah, Don's still a kid. He still plays with cars. Notice I didn't say he still plays with toys. He plays with cars.
Cha cha cha.
He's a big kid now.
Yep. He can pull up his pull ups.
I'm big kid now.
I can't even say I'm a Toys R Us kid. We haven't had one of them near me for 30 years.
They're all gone.
I'm
Seems like
gone.
almost like every store's like that we like is like out. Yeah, like Kmart going out.
I'm gone.
Yeah, Kmart got bought out by Shopco.
Years.
Yeah, Montgomery Wards. Actually, they're still around. They went from brick and mortar to online catalogs. Now all the businesses that were brick and mortar, they're all phones and insurance and dentists and glasses and I don't know what the other stores are, but there ain't no reason to go to little malls anymore. Here comes Draco.
Yeah.
Pew 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 pew.
Still need to,
Hey,
heal the base too.
that's the face. I'm your father. What's going on there? What's going on there?
Rawr.
Mix up some plastic for that bad boy.
Why you watch news?
Don't need his neck yet. Don't need his tail. Let's work on the worst offender, the wings.
Alexa.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting kit.
Well, I can't talk to you.
Pretty much, Jason. Pretty much. He started building models as a kid and he never grew up.
Yeah, I slowed down when I got to the girls and cars age, but I never did actually quit.
Right?
It'd be easier.
Daddy, you want to finish it?
Huh?
Want to finish this?
Finish what?
Put the little ding dong. And count 5.
Yeah, I was waiting.
You want to put 'em on?
Hmm?
You want to put 'em on? I'll count 5.
Yeah, I'll come back. I was gonna put batteries in your thing though. I don't know where it's at.
They're right there around it.
No, your headset.
It's right here.
Yes, that's okay. Will you give me the
Tweezers?
I see what you're going to do there, Bob. Put a little
I'll do-
support brace between the gaps to connect the two together.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Are those dragon wings?
Yep.
Yep,
It's a
those are
big
dragon wing.
dragon.
Mm-hmm. Are those dragon wings, Bob?
This is what he's gonna look like. It's the dragon from the movie Dragon's Lair.
Dragonfly?
Yeah,
Dragonheart.
or Dragonheart. Sorry,
thanks?
Draco the dragon.
Rawr. Got to keep them separated there, Bob.
Yeah. Well, they look the same.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna put these two over here on the side so I don't keep grabbing the wrong one.
I agree, Fred. My idiot lights came on a long time ago. I checked the engine and followed the wires all the way to it, and there wasn't even an engine there, so I don't know why the light keeps coming on.
He's not ready to go out. Just pack bag. Make sure I'm listening. Uh-huh. You too busy, nothing. You too busy. Huh? Why you want Bart? Yeah.
I could just see Amanda painting a picture of Fred eating his carrot cake. Gotta love the utility of a for sale sign, eh, Bob?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually go buy another one here before too long. Ain't a whole lot of it left.
Do you buy the bigger ones or the smaller
Yeah, the
ones?
great big one.
Yep, they're nice and thicker.
There ain't a whole lot of it left.
The small ones ain't bad if you got to do like contours and stuff, but the big ones are really nice.
Usually what I do is I'll cut up a big strip of it and use it as like holding parts for painting and stuff
Right.
until I gets to where I got so much paint on it I can't really do that anymore. And then it becomes structural.
Yeah, I use the back of a notebook, that cardboard, the thick cardboard. I've had a couple of those for I don't know, probably 15 years. They're so thick. Every once in a while, I go to grab them with my thumb, and they crack. So you get this cool little multi-layered leveling thing going on.
Why is in red?
Thumbs out.
I know that feeling, Fred. Boy, go to bed feeling like I'm 35 and wake up feeling like I'm 85. Yeah.
I told you close the door. You want in. You got to get in.
Well, that'll definitely give you a backer to fill in the voids with.
Yeah.
Don feels like a bounce check. How is there that big of a gap in that, Bob?
I just it wasn't um
You're lining up the outside edge, and then you're just going to fill the inner parts, or what?
yeah, that's the plan. I'm just gonna get this edge lined up. The vinyl, I guess, when they did the blow mold on it,
Didn't get that far.
didn't print all the way, or whatever.
No, buddy, I'm just trying to.
Short
Didn't
shot.
push.
I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, didn't push in far enough. That's crazy. That's a massive gap.
I may just close in this section here like it was and leave it like it was supposed to be a gap there. That the wing didn't. These two sections didn't actually meet anatomically.
Right, because one would be an elbow, and then the other would be the wing.
Right, because this would be your elbow joint and your wrist or hand joint or whatever. Yeah.
Well, you'd think the wing would still be part of the forearm. Yeah, once you get the other one done, you mock it up and take a look in now.
Yeah. So the other one does close up all the way. So I may fill it all in. We'll see. This is definitely the worst of the two. That's why we wanted to tackle it first.
Right.
Yeah, I'll probably fill it.
Yeah, it does seem like it's a short shot for sure.
All right, let's color gloss black.
Yeah, we'll be filling it.
My phone's gonna die.
Your phone's gonna die.
I'm live again.
Well, get her charged up and come on back and hang out for some more.
Okay.
And don't forget to keep smiling. Pew 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 pew.
Pew, pew, pew. I charge. I'll be back on.
All right.
Yeah, because even in the bottom, see how much gap there is on the bottom's even worse. This piece was a short shot. That's the only thing I can figure.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely missing way too much.
Yeah, this one's almost there.
$1,321 jumps. Holy cow! What's up, Cliff?
There you go, jumping out of a perfectly good aircraft.
Right.
It's an unnatural act.
When you trust your legs to land better than the airplane, something's definitely not right with the airplane. Or the pilot. Just missed it. Cliffy Andrew was here too. Free falling. Skydiving's been on my bucket list, but I doubt I'll ever get up there to do it. I think one of them wingsuit things would be an interesting way to skydive.
Turn into a flying squirrel?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, I think my best luck of that would be like Mall of America and the little the small little area thing with the zero gravity, so you can float up and down in.
Oh yeah, where they put you in a cage above a DC3 motor and propeller and turn it on full and
Yep. I think one of them would be kind of interesting because you ain't gonna get hurt. You can't fall that damn far. You'd be lucky if it's 20 feet tall or something. Get that same feeling, but not have to go up in a plane or anything. Probably cost about the same to hop in one of them. Butter pecan. How's Clifford tonight? Yeah, that gap don't look near as bad as the other one.
yeah. Especially on top. So I'm worried about the top more than the bottom. So
Fred. That's funny.
Hey, Cliff. Like Andrew Cliff. There's the body. I'll put it up. Don't look too bad. It's brighter off camera.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
yeah.
Kind of got a teal blue look to it compared to the green that I think it is. But
Just
looks nice and smooth and reasonably shiny.
right now, it's a little tacky, barely. Like from the, I'm touching the like remove piece, and it's like barely, like a little bit tacky. I wasn't expecting it to be
Yeah, it's always best to give them better
uh,
part of a day or more to dry even after the tacky part. That's why I'm not sanding on mine right now. Looks good though.
seen one. I believe it might have been one at a car show last year. Thanks. Uh, it was a deluxe one, but that one is a deluxe too because he says deluxe on the side of it, and it was
Right.
green too. But you could tell it was old, like never been refurbished. The interior old, like really used because it's about the same color as the body. It's about a light green color. So
Right.
I decided to do one. It, I'm not sure what my next build's going to be.
I
I
bet you it's going to be a model.
might do a '69 Dodge Charger next. Just maybe.
Cool.
I got that
Con-
kind
Country Charger. Yeah.
And if I get some decals in, it might turn into a General Lee.
Cool.
Because I've already built a General Lee. It was a natural General Lee kit. But I want to build another General Lee to make it look better than my first one.
Right.
The General Lee I have now, that was the very first model I built.
They used over 400 cars filming the show, so no harm in having 50 of them on the show.
And then probably after that, I might start doing maybe Roscoe's car, and he says I have to get another '78 Dodge Monaco.
Right.
Some Hazard County badging stuff for it.
Yeah,
And then
the Joker Goon Squad, same kit, just doesn't have the decals.
Then I got Daisy's original car, the '74 Plymouth Roadrunner.
Yep, the GTX Roadrunner. Yep.
Before it got turned into a Plymouth Satellite.
Yeah,
And then
Daisy's car is always a nice one to have in the collection. I wouldn't mind getting another Jeep for Daisy's Jeep.
I got a that Golden Hawk kit. I was going to make Daisy's Jeep out of that. We'll make it very close. I got for Christmas because I wanted it, and then 2-3 days after Christmas, I came across a video of a reveal kit. It's the Golden Eagle, which is what Daisy's Jeep actually is, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me!
Right.
So now I want to trade that Jeep for a 1/16 scale kit. So
Cool.
And then I'm going to get that Jeep once it comes out. And then I'm going to get a 72 Ford pickup and have somebody 3D print me a 73 front end, and I'm going to put it on there. So I searched up what Uncle Jesse's truck is, and I've gotten 73 Ford pickup.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to have probably an entire 3D printed Boss Hogg's Cadillac.
Yeah, closest you're gonna find to something like that would probably be a Johan kit, or maybe a promo or a die cast.
And then scratch build a Cooter's tow truck.
Yep.
And I'm going to do the very first tow truck, the 69 or 70 Chevrolet. Because, I mean, you got to have a Chevrolet with the bunch.
Yep. Yeah, they weren't brand specific back in the day like they were in the 80s, where everything was Dodge, Chrysler products in every one of their TV shows. Like the TV series The Viper, they were running around chasing on the Dodge cars and Intrepids and Neons and everything else in the background. Enjoy the meal, Jason.
Hey, bring back some food for the rest of us.
Yeah, really.
Trying to think what song I want to use for my on the shelf video for the Ram Chargers transport truck and dragster. Like, I'm thinking more so rock, like classic rock.
Try some rockabilly.
I still need to make the YouTube short of it.
I think you just need a whole bunch of burnout sounds going on in the background.
One day, probably once I get done with my Pro Mod Impala, I'm going to make a video of stop motion drag car burnouts.
Cool.
Since I got a drag strip that I made myself, and I
Right.
got cars used, so it should be a good, decent video.
Yeah, stop motion animation. You got to take shot by shot by shot by shot by shot by shot.
And you got the transport crew. Thanks, Britta. And it actually turns.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's pretty cool.
And it's a front wheel drive.
Yeah.
I know of another front wheel drive kit. It's a 1968 Oldsmobile Tornado.
Tornado. Yep.
I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Tornado.
I've seen something like that's supposed to be like America's version of like a Rolls Royce or something.
I think it's the California Flash or California whatever is the old Tornado that they just reissued. That's the front wheel drive one.
Yeah.
Pretty good looking little motor in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one your dad built, right?
Yeah, my dad built this. Well, I built the dragster.
Yep.
And my dad don't have another build until May. As of right now. Because the only he has only 2 kits to build. The rest are for me. He's got which I'm part of it. That Aqua Rod, I think it's a '75 Chevy van with a drag boat.
Yep.
That he's building the van out of it. I'm going to build the trailer and the drag boat.
Them boats are actually pretty decent. I had the 3-in-1 boat kit where it's just the boat by itself. It's actually not a whole lot of parts, but it goes together pretty well. It's not all that tricky. It's kind of cool.
Because basically kind of flip flopping. Because on the Gone Fishing 80 Bronco with the bass boat and trailer, I
Yep.
built the Bronco, and my dad built the trailer and the
boat.
So flip flopping.
Makes sense.
And two, it'll be my first boat.
Yeah, it was a good one for a first boat kit. I don't know if you ever seen mine, but I did all the wood grain and stuff, made it look like the Chris Craft boats from back in the day. That was kind of fun.
And then his other one that my dad has to build, he has a '71 Ford Mustang Mach 1 that he's going to do up like Eleanor from the original Gone in 60 Seconds.
That's a cool deal.
Yep. We're going to do that one. He's going to do that one for Father's Day. Because I'm going to get a 67 Shelby that I'm going to do like the newer Gone in 60 Seconds, the one with Nicolas Cage that I've never seen. Still need to see. Watch it. I've seen the original Gone 60 Seconds though. I've seen it like probably 2-3 times.
Yeah, the original to me is way better than the new one personally, but I'm an old school dude. I don't really get into all the new stuff.
And you got the same guy as director, actor, and stuntman.
HB Halicki.
And my dad told me that like one of the scenes, like he broke his collarbone. Car hit.
Yeah.
The
When he was coming down the hill and there was an accident and he jumped over the cars, when he landed, he compressed his spine. And they did that scene with like 8 different cameras and many different, speed motion, fast motion, slow motion, whatever.
interstate came down like the hill, came up to a road and like hit a car, and I think it broke his collarbone in it. And then my dad said like he kept going. even though he had a broken collarbone.
Yep. Yeah. And most of that stuff was back in the day where you didn't get permits to shut down the city. You just went out and you shot it. Yeah. Everybody in the background was kind of not paid actors.
And
But
then
every one of those cars in his movies, he owned. Every single one of the Cadillacs and the muscle cars and every one of the cop cars, every one of the fire trucks, every one of the ambulance. He owned every single one of those cars.
makes you wonder what he did for a living to get all that money just to
Real
buy.
estate, real estate. That's what him and his wife did. They bought and sold properties and renovated them and bought and sold cars, owned junkyards, and yeah, just like the very beginning of the show where he would go to the auction and he bought that Challenger that was wrecked, brought it back to the shop, stripped it all down, took the VIN numbers and the motor and all that, and then it ends up on the used car lot the next day. You know, that's what he did. He bought and sold stuff and made plenty of money back in the day.
And then my dad also told me, like, I think at least with it was either most of the movie or at least with the like half the movie car chase scene, it was all filmed in one take except I think the jump scene where he jumped over the cars and laying down. I think he said that was filmed twice.
Yeah,
Where it's like,
there was a couple of spots that they had to do a couple of times. You know, like in the beginning when he goes to the train derailment, that was an actual derailment that he got permission to go on the site with the camera and shoot some footage. But all the people that were there were the actual people, you know, there to assess the train damage, other than him and his one little co-actor that he was bouncing with, you know. But yeah, he was definitely an interesting guy, man.
and then leaves the car at a car wash and gets
Yeah,
away with
yeah,
with
the
it.
getaway is the best, man, the best.
And then the
That's
lady,
what really bugged me about the Nicolas Cage version was the ending was nowhere near as good, nowhere near. Have you seen The Junk Man?
mm-mm.
That's another HB Halicki movie. Same guy, same thing, all his cars. It's got the Bricklin, the Slicer, the semi truck. There's a whole bunch of different stuff in there. And then there's a third one. I want to say it's the Junkman 2 or the Junkman 2 is the second one. But there was one where he was shooting a scene where a semi runs into one of the power poles and the cable actually sliced his throat and that's how he died. He
Mm.
died shooting the movie and they never finished it, so they cut that scene out and they edited in some other stuff that was already recorded to finish a movie, and that was his last one.
Mm.
But yeah, that Eleanor Mustang from the old original still turn the key, fires up, runs and drives to this
Yep.
day.
That's the thing about older cars. That you can probably sit there and barrel roll it 20 times and it'll still run and drive.
Most of them, as long as
Today's
it don't stay on its roof too long.
today's cars probably one barrel roll and it's done.
Yeah, the days modern cars, they fall apart. They're meant to. They're not nothing like that. Not to mention back in the day, if you rolled it or drove under a semi and cut the roof off, you had all kinds of room to duck. Nowadays, you can't duck in a modern car if you tried.
Yeah, and back then, if you went underneath a semi trailer, you're just making your homemade convertible. That's all it was.
Yep, got a little glass in the front seat, not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, Buford T. Justice, he did it. So
Yeah, I gotta love how he had the triangle shaped car. You know, He's sitting
Ross,
way up on top. That part was
Roscoe,
epic.
he did it too
Mm-hmm.
in a few, like an episode or two.
It's kind of like the movie Hooper, where they had the red Trans Am. That was a one-shot deal.
Yeah, I've seen that movie, but it's been a while, good while since I've seen it. Just
I
seen it once.
noticed the effort, Boston. I noticed the effort.
What other good car movies have I seen? I've seen Eat My Dust. I think
Yep.
I've seen it like it was just one time and that was it.
I just watched Steel Arena about 3-4 days ago. It's about the old stuntman that used to do the ride on two wheels and rollovers and the jump of death and a bunch of other crazy stuff at like your county fairs back in the day. And they drove the old late 50s, early 60s cars. They were a traveling daredevil show, basically.
Mm-hmm. I remember Eat My Dust. Guy, I think stole a race car. It was trying to impress some girl and all that. Like throughout the entire movie, police chases and all that. By the end of the movie, he did not get the girl.
I want to say there's a movie called Red Dirt Road. I think it's Red Dirt or Red Dirt Road, where it talks about a guy who took his farmland and made a little circle track, and then they all started racing their 30s and early 40s cars. And then they got called up into NASCAR down into Daytona, and it's kind of like the beginnings before leading up into the beginning of NASCAR. That was kind of a cool movie.
And watched Days of Thunder recently.
White Line Fever, wasn't that the one with the blue and white semi in it?
Yeah, I
White
think
and blue and white, whatever. Yeah, there's Car Chase something. I just seen it the other day, but I subscribed to it on YouTube, and any car chase that's ever been in a movie is on their channel. You know, like the Steve McQueen Bullet car chase, right?
I've
That's the
seen
only
that.
thing most people know about that movie. That's only a small portion of the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the Dirty Harry, Crazy Mary Larry thing on there, and all kinds of other stuff. Even some of the Dukes of Hazzard scenes where they're chasing this car or that bad guy. You know.
And then you got the first episode of Dukes of Hazzard. You got an orange Charger chasing a cop car. Right off the bat, it's like something ain't right here.
Yeah. My favorite Dukes of Hazzard episode still has to be the lady car thieves that were riding around in the Jeeps. So they jacked up the General, put the bigger tires on it. That was
yeah.
always my favorite episode.
Yeah, I think it converted up to 4-wheel drive.
Yep. Well, they lifted it so they could do more off road. It wasn't really 4-wheel drive; it was just lifted 2-wheel drive. But that one was always pretty cool. If I had another set of them smaller Desert Dog 4x4 tires, I'd build it again.
Now I got a model idea.
There you go. Then you can have an old General that's normal, and you can have the 4-wheel drive version.
Now I need to get like some more Chargers. Do one black like the original. Well, before it got turned into the General.
And you
Do
also
one.
got to do a white one that glows in the dark. The episode where they scared the crap out of Boss Hogg and them.
Mm-hmm.
The ghost of the General.
Yep. Then I gotta get a white one because of Kelly Albro, that episode where they had that race. And then the time where the General
and you got to get a '67 Mustang for was it Cooter? Not Cooter's car. It was the bad guy. They had a Mustang with flames on it.
0000.
And Cooter's race car was a green 70.5 Camaro. 70.5, 73, somewhere right in there.
And then the Chevelle.
Yep. Yeah, I remember when the episode where I think it was Bo Duke went off to go into NASCAR or something, and then him and Luke got into a fit, and then Luke was the one that ended up running the race to win it. California Kid, that's a great looking car. I'm not a Ford fan, but I like that 32 coupe that's in there, and that thing's sweet. 32, 34, whatever it is. It's
2 other Chargers I can think of is the time where they painted the generally green for some reason. I can't remember what the reason was, but they painted it green. Like they showed like a small scene. Luke was sitting there spraying the front right fender green.
right.
And I can't remember why. And then the very first generally that got repainted to be Richard Petty's car. They crashed in that I think TV special or something.
Yeah, and the very first General, when they picked it up, it was blue and beat up and stuff, and then they fixed it up, and the only paint Cooter had was orange. Vanishing Point, that's another good movie. Kowalski. Have you ever heard of International Movie Car Database?
No.
Okay, here we go. I'll put a link in the chat. I don't know if you can go there from your chat.
No, I can't right now.
All right, well, it's in the chat, but anyway, it's every single car ever made in any and every single movie or TV show.
Yeah, I've seen Blues Brothers recently, and you got like the car pile up in Chicago with all the police cars just sitting there crashing. And that's for a movie. It seems like they're like purposely like crashing. You're like, hey, where are the brakes at? I don't have no brakes, but flipping over. And then they just shoot at him for no reason.
All right.
Then they get the nonsense flip, and then the little Vega wagon wherever it goes in the air and all that.
Right.
Stuff like didn't really make sense. And then after all that, the car just falls apart. The Blues Brothers car.
We're on a mission from God.
And then they get the FBI, Chicago Police Department, and the Army after them. And then after they pay that, I think it was like $5 grand for that notice or something for the building.
Right.
At gunpoint, but like they got 15 million guns point at them. One wrong move, bam, their head's gone or something.
Right.
And this is just 2 guys in suits. It's 600 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.
Yep.
Let's see. Of course, I've seen Smokey the Bandit. I've seen the second one, and I've been told I'm not allowed to watch Smokey Bandit 3 yet.
I'm a big fan of the Cannonball Run series, starting with Speed Zone.
I haven't even seen those movies.
Yeah, them are good movies, man. A lot of fun in that.
Just need to sit down like one day, one lazy day, just watch a bunch of them old movies.
Yeah, when you get Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise together, that's a hoot, man. And all the other all-star cast that are in them episodes, man. The Sheik, the Smothers Brothers on the airplane. That was hilarious. Jackie Chan, yeah. Cannonball Run. Yeah, they had a lot of all-star cast in them movies, man.
And the second one, there's Fafa.
Fafa! Oh, holy cow, he's here. You're late, Jeff. We were just about to end. Oh, I'm kidding.
Well, thank you guys for watching, and we're gonna get here before Fall hops on. So,
Yeah. Jeff's here. We're gone. Show's over.
he's taking over. We're leaving. We're done.
You have to do a bunch of snow plowing there, Jeff? Every which way but lose. You betcha. Right turn, Clyde.
I think I've seen a little bit of that. I don't know if I've seen the full movie.
Oh, they're good. Good, clean, old school movies, man.
Mm-hmm.
When Granny takes the tow truck and what's left of the car by the time she's done. That was hilarious.
Y'all keep talking about snow. Earlier, it was sprinkling outside, and then I got rain coming. I think it's supposed to rain tonight and then to tomorrow. Let's see. I ate Chinese about 4:30, 15 till 5, and I'm hungry again.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of hungry too. Maximum Overdrive was a pretty decent movie.
And
That
it's
was
still,
an Emilio Estevez.
I think that's like the only movie or something that has like the same artist for all the songs.
Yeah, it's AC/DC.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people love making that Joker truck. But there was so many other rigs in that movie that would have been just as good to build.
Mm-hmm. Man, that worked.
Yeah, it was another car movie.
Oh, that's it. Oh, I thought he was talking about the band.
Yeah. Who can it be now?
Do,
Knocking
do,
at
do.
my door. Go away. Don't come around here no more.
I come from a land down under.
Yeah. I grew up with that stuff on TV.
I listen to older stuff. I don't listen to the newer stuff. I listen roughly about 2000s back.
I can't say I don't listen to new stuff. I just only listen to select new stuff.
Yeah, so like new stuff. If I like it, I listen to it. Other stuff, most stuff is garbage. Like I'm not a big fan of rap stuff, but there's like a few songs that like Low with T Pain and Flo Rida.
Yeah, I'm not a big rap fan. I'm not even fond of any music like country music that has rap vocals to it. You
Yeah.
know, when
Oh,
they start rapping and rhyming, I'm out. I'm done. I'm out.
or it's uh, supposed to be country music, but then you got that rap beat in the background. You
Like I
get
said, it's the way they say the lyrics to it
mhm.
that gives me that rap vibe. Back in the days, most of my buddies around here, they were all from Chicago, and they weren't from the bad hoods, but they were trying to be. Well, I'm from Chicago. I'm from the bad woods. Yeah, yeah. You're trying to be tough, and if a real person from Chicago came up here, you'd get your teeth knocked out. You know. But most of the gangster music that they liked back then were all talking about slapping their bitches and slinging money and shooting people, and I just said nope, not interested in any of all that. None of it.
down the street in my 6'4", slapping the. Went to the park to get to school. Knuckleheads out there who are shooting the
So
pool.
Greta,
Mhm.
being German or Russian, what you overseas over there, what kind of music do you listen to? Because I know that the music scene over there is constantly changing.
Ram's song that just popped in my head, and it's German.
Du hast?
No,
Du hast mit.
it's like a. Let's just say it's a song that might could offend Bretta. Let's just say does WW two L's eyes mean anything? Ring a bell?
Not necessarily, but I
Well,
listen to a wide variety, and some of the bands are from Germany and Poland and Ireland and all that kind of crazy stuff over that way. And honestly, I'm a metal guy, and their metal music is, you don't get much better metal than you do from Scotland or Sweden, personally. But when you hear stuff like Ruskaya, it's ska, so they got a little bit of that uh, Mexican vibe with some pipes, horns and stuff. That's some cool, fun stuff, man. Corpaclani, all kinds of crazy stuff from over there.
there's a movie. It's from the '80s that I like the music that's in it. It's like almost like kind of like a mixture of everything, and then like just music for like certain scenes sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Like
original.
Beverly Hills Cop kind of music.
No, it's the G1 Transformers movie
Oh,
from
gotcha. Yeah.
'86. Seemed like they had some Hair Nation and some like kind of like normal music, and then they got Weird Al, and then they got I think Vince DiCola. He did like all like the music for, he did a Rocky 4.
Thanks for the answer there, Britta. Much appreciated. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Volbeat. That's some great stuff right there.
One of my favorite music pieces Vince DiCola did for that Transformers movie is the very first like music thing that plays at the beginning of the movie. It's
Right.
called a Unicron melody, where you hear like the dun 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 dun. Then you got that like sound.
Right. It's kind of like an industrial dubstepish almost.
Yeah, I like that. And of course, you got Instruments of Destruction, and the Decepticons are killing Autobots.
KMFDM is a drug against war. Yeah, we do, Britta. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I've seen some things of like the movie that like traumatized kids. Yet the series that you're watching, they get to a movie, and first time you're seeing deaths, and especially Optimus Prime. Yeah.
Right.
Like I've heard stories that like when kids seen that he died, like they locked themselves in the bathroom over it.
Yeah, you can't kill the main character.
And then of course you got Dare, Hot Rod, and a lot of people like blame Hot Rod for Optimus Prime's death. But I watched a video that like talked about like that scene there that Optimus Prime could have like took the shot on Megatron many times, or even if when Megatron had a hot rod in his arm, could just still continue to fire. Honestly, if it was me, I would just fired. I mean, if I end up killing Hot Rod, oh well, it's for the greater good.
Well, I think Optimus Prime has the don't kill him, wound him kind of mentality. I don't need to have your blood on my hands. I just need to stop you from doing what you're doing, kind of thing.
I've seen stuff of like, what if Optimus didn't die in the
Hi,
movie?
Marcy.
Hey, Marcy. Then like I've seen stuff of like it's called like Shattered Glass, where like the Autobots are actually evil and the Decepticons are actually good.
Yeah, kind of the inverse world. GoBots.
And the other songs, they get the touch, and the power. And then you don't like hear another one for a while, and then you got the nothing's going to stand in our way. And
Sounds
another,
like a Tina Turner to me.
then you got Hunger. That's the name of it. And then after that, it's Dare to Be Stupid with all the junkie on.
Hey, Jeff, you missed it. You missed it, Jeff. I'm telling you, you missed it. Andrew and Lewis was here, and me and Andrew did a duet happy birthday song to Don when he was here. You missed it. You can rewind and watch it later, but you missed it.
And Kevin was on here too.
Yep. BattleBots.
And also in that G1 movie, you got the ironic Unicron with Orson Welles' voice.
Yeah.
It's so well. Like I've seen some that like after that movie was done and made, like he died like 6 months after the movie was finished.
You having fun playing with boogers there, Bob? Sticking to your gloves? Turning out good though, man. You're doing a good job there. Fill in the void.
Then you get that scene where Megatron like turns into a Galvatron. Like technically, like does he die or just get reformatted?
Couldn't really tell you.
Not sure. So I've seen some things of like saying like, oh, like he died there and all that. And then too, there's also a scene like in the movie, which of course the Autobots didn't know. It was like you'll die trying like Megatron.
Yeah, I'm not a super big movie fan myself. I'm familiar with a lot of the older stuff and the cool stuff that I grew up with, but the modern stuff, yeah, no.
Bretta Ryan is RPM. He's up here as the guy with the long hair picture.
Yep, that's what I look like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a younger looking me, but I got longer hair and longer goatee now. Kevin's had booger issues ever since he was first live. That's funny.
Yep.
No harm, no foul. Imagine that, Cliff. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you get that. There's that new Transformers series. It's called Transformers Earthspark. Oh gosh. You
I
got
haven't even seen trailers for anything new since I think it was
the
the second or third one.
newest movie that's out there for Transformers. It's called Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Came out this past summer.
Yeah, I haven't even seen trailers for it, let alone the actual movie.
And then
I
before that,
never actually sit in front of our TV, and the TV I have is connected to my computer, not to the TV. So anything I watch is either on YouTube or not at all.
they went woke with that. How? Only thing I can think of that went woke is in that Transformers series called Transformers Earthspark, where there's a non-binary transformer in there, and then
That's
you got
woke.
creepy Optimus Prime with a face. He's supposed to have the little face mask thing.
The helmet looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they modernize things to keep it fresh and new, they just ruin stuff, you know. We
Mm-hmm.
grew up with the old original style. We don't need all this added detail and foolishness, you know.
And then honestly, there's been like a few times like in the G1 series where Optimus Prime like laughs. To me, hearing like Optimus Prime laugh is like terrifying. I don't know why.
Well, just knowing how powerful he is, if he's laughing at you, something's bad.
Maybe it's because he don't laugh that much.
Yeah, he's always pretty serious.
Mm-hmm.
Bumblebee, on the other hand, he's always a smart aleck.
I mean, he started out the Volkswagen Beetle, and then he went to a Camaro.
Right.
The only Optimus Prime that without the little mass plates thing that actually looks good is the Michael Bay Optimus Prime, like the first three. Like the first one at 2007, then Revenge of the Fallen, and then Dark of the Moon. That one was good. And then Rise of the Beast, Optimus Prime, it's okay. Like I've seen something like they base like Optimus Prime's face off of the voice actor of him, Peter Cullen.
Yeah, it's crazy what they can do in post-op on the cutting floor, the editing room.
And Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast. Where in the world's Megatron at? You got Unicron Rising Beast, but we get Unicron before Megatron?
I'm surprised they never brought out Omegatron. That's the one that was kind of like a city and then like a spaceship thing. And
Only thing I could think of was the city. You got two of them, or at least from G1 is Metroplex was his name. That was the Autobot. That was in season 3. And then you got when the Decepticon it was Tripticon. And then there's an episode where the Decepticons they actually turned an actual city here on Earth into a transformer.
Hey, Bob. Bob, you muted?
Yeah, he's muted. Bob, if you can hear us, Kevin's wanting to know what putty you're using.
I'm using small tongue epoxy scope. Kenny May
turning out pretty damn good, man.
Told me to use it because the Ames epoxy sculpt is so freaking expensive. This one was like $24 for 32 ounces, and Ames is like $40 for 2 pounds. But it's working out really well so far. Sticky as shit, but
yeah, it seems like it's sticking to your glove. Are you just spraying water on your gloves so it don't?
I got a little bit of Dawn in there.
Oh,
my wet water.
Yep.
My wet sanding water, I should say.
Yeah, wet water. Is water wet?
They make water wetter.
Yep.
It's the product. Yeah, it looks like it's filling in the gaps pretty good though.
Yeah. It's like old chewing gum. So the texture of it. Like that piece of Wrigley's that you chewed for like a day and a half and then stuck under your desk and then pulled it back out and started playing with
it. Boston, yeah, with Rise of the Beast with the animal transformers. I believe they did that, I guess, trying to make, I guess, Beast Wars possible because that was originally from the Beast Wars was a 90s thing. They didn't make one of them speak for some odd reason, and then they didn't even add Rat Trap for some reason.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to get more marketing ideas out there.
It's like, of course, Optimus Prime. Like for like Rhinox is basically Ironhide. Cheetor is basically Bumblebee. To me, Rat Trap is basically Huffer because they're like both pessimistic. Because he got like Huff was like, it'll never work. Just a big waste of time. Then he got Rat Trap. We're all gonna die. I couldn't tell you for others.
Well, the one I liked the most was the one with Leonard Nimoy in it when they blew up Chicago.
I think that was the second one, wasn't it?
No, that's the third one.
Third one.
Third one, okay.
That's the
Yeah.
one after they got rid of that. What's her name's Fox, Samantha Fox or whatever her name is.
Megan Fox.
Megan
I was going to
Fox.
say, I remember Samantha Fox. I had an 8-foot tall door poster of her back in grade school.
And the guy who was talking about, Bob, he played a Sentinel Prime, and he was also in the G1 movie. Transformers. He played it. He voiced Galvatron in that movie.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy was Spock, and he was the bad. He was the bad one in
Yeah,
that
he
movie.
was Sentinel Prime. And somehow, some way, he's related to Michael Bay. I seen something about that.
And they tore up Chicago.
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite one out of the Michael Bay. Because like I feel like that one has like Transformer screen time. Because I mean, in the first one, it takes like an hour before finally, yay, Transformer stuff. Let's get. Woohoo. And like more action.
That's one thing I didn't really find interesting about the Transformers series was way too much transformation going on compared to the cartoons where it was just, quick, simple, easy. Your eyes could follow it. And nowadays there's like 70 billion moving parts and a 20-second screen, where everything's so busy you can't make out nothing. That turned me off to the whole Transformer movie series stuff. But the amount of action in them was I wouldn't say nonstop, but pretty good.
I will say this: the alleyway scene in the first Transformers movie of the Michael Bay. I like that one pretty well. Where Optimus approaches, stops, and then he's like kind of slowly transforms.
Yep.
After that, it's like they start transforming quicker.
Right. Yeah, when you got way too much going on in a scene, my brain just goes, yeah, no, I'm done. Shut off.
Yeah, and then with the third movie, I realized this recently that the third Transformers movie is basically like about 5 episodes from the original G1 series, like put together to make Dark of the Moon. You got like Megatron Master Plans Part 1 and 2, where Megatron basically get rid of the Autobots into space. Well, that basically kind of happened.
Right.
You got where Megatron took over a city and called it a City of Steel. And then Atlantis Arise, he took over Washington, D.C., took Abe Lincoln off of his chair and sat down in the chair. That happened Dark of the Moon.
Oh boy.
Not to change subjects, but Rita kind of wants to know what color you're going to kind of paint that there, Bob.
The dragon? He's kind of
He's kind of a red, ain't he?
yeah, kind of a tan sandy color.
Third.
But that's not the color they painted him. The model is not really close to what the movie version.
Yeah, that's way too tan for the movie.
Yeah,
I always thought he was more red.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the movie and get some great screen grabs and
Go from there.
try to bring the color in closer. If I can swing it, I'm gonna actually when I get ready to paint him, I'm gonna drive up to Chicago and spend a weekend with Gilbert and have him help me paint it because he is the Dragon Master.
Nice. Have a good night there, Cliff.
There
Rest well, bud.
He's forgotten more about how to paint a dragon than most people will ever know.
Yeah. Closest I ever came to painting a dragon was in the back of the circus wagon.
Oh, those are the
And
wings
just
I'm
a
working on
little.
right now. This is the base over here. Here's the base. And the torso kind of sits on there like this.
It's kind of like the broken tower of a castle.
Yeah. And then I've got Bowden. He's already done.
Hey, sir.
Bowden is finished. I got him done, all done already.
Yeah, the little knight.
Yeah, but
Very
Gilbert
nicely detailed.
is probably the premier figure painter, dragon painter on the YouTubes. And I talked to him. If I could swing it, when I've got it ready to paint, I'm gonna go up and spend like 2 or 3 days at his house, and he's gonna help me instruct me on painting the dragon
Cool.
because he does it all mostly with the inks. It's not really painting; it's all done with the inks. Yeah, but I'm happy with how it's turning out, but it's just a lot more work than I expected it was going to be.
Yeah, you managed to pull it off pretty quickly, though, especially that size of a gap.
Well, I'll have to go in with like regular body filler and stuff and clean it up more. But yeah, that's just filling the big holes.
Right. Yeah, and then you still got to sand the veins back and forth across it. So.
Yeah. I'll get it where it's close, and I'll use just like the regular modeling, like the Vallejo plastic putty to do the final fine work on it.
Yeah.
And then it'll all blend and hide away once it's painted.
Actually, the only part I'm really dreading is probably the most important part. It's going to be the toughest.
The face
is the head. Well, because the head, you have to be able to paint inside the mouth and stuff before you put it together.
Yeah.
So I got to paint all that stuff in there and then figure out get it masked off because then you got to fill the gap. I mean, the joint on for his head is probably the best one in the whole kit. But that's the part I'm dreading is this, because this part has to be assembled after it's been at least basically painted.
And it's almost the first thing you see when you look at it.
Oh yeah, it's the the eyes of the window of the soul. I mean, that's what you're gonna see right first is that head.
Yep.
But it's an awesome sculpt of the character. It looks exactly like him.
And the bigger issue gap is the one that's on his spine.
Yeah, those. But, yeah, this one.
The way it doesn't even sit level and it rocks.
Well, when I get ready to do the final glue on it, I will heat it up. That's a nice thing with the vinyl; you can heat it up and
get it to flex a little,
and it gets real flexible. So hopefully, I'll be able to
conform it.
Right, I'll get it nice and hot, and I'll glue the one end and tape the other one down and hold it, and or kind of work my way front to back with the super glue.
Kind of like you would if you were metal welding and beat it with a hammer and weld it and beat it and weld it.
Yeah, and then get it filled in. The rest of the seams on him aren't real bad. Like these ones on the legs aren't real bad. They kind of put them in a good spot, right where the natural fold would be, or a scale in the armor. So it's not those I'm not worried about. I can do those with just a little plastic putty and call them a day.
Right.
And his tail wasn't too bad either. Like his tail, you can't even hardly see where the seams are because they put them right exactly where the links in the scales would be, so that you can't even see where they are.
Nice.
Yeah, his neck doesn't fit the greatest either. That's going to be another spot that's going to require some work. There's a great nice big gap there too.
Yeah.
Well, I am, I think, very close to being ready to start on my Pro Mod Impala. Just, I think I need my transmission from Jason once he gets done printing it and sending it to me for my fender. Then I start seeing what I really need to do because when building a motor, I'm gonna have it sitting on uh probably the 7 Chevelle Pro Street chassis. And seeing where it need to be, and then figure out if I need to cut out the fenders from this chassis or the fenders from the Impala.
I think it would be easier to cut them off the chassis.
Yeah, probably. What I was figuring.
Be right back.
But I'm gonna see because actually, honestly, be fender well less because that'll be less weight. Now that I think about it, until I think
Yeah.
Jason that too.
I mean, even if you had inner fenders on the finished car, if they were mounted to the frame rather than the body, they would look wrong. Because normally they're mounted to the body and they don't mount to the actual frame. Usually it's just the core support that does.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they have a little room to flex in there because that's where the suspension is at.
Yeah. And then
that's why they went with the plastic ones, because they found they had a little too much flex in the area.
And then gotta stretch the frame and widen the frame. And then still need my hood from Jason once he's done with it. My cowl induction hood.
Right.
And then get some parts together to make a wing coming off the back of it.
Yeah, I think scratch building a wing would be your easiest, quickest bet.
Yeah. And I've been told, like, with the stretching of the frame and widening it, to probably use a garage like sale sign or something.
Yep. I swear by them, man. Them garage sale signs, the exact same plastic we all use. It bonds just as good. It sands and paints just as good. It's super, super cheap for a huge piece.
Because also I was going to go, because y'all told me that there's styrene sheets at Hobby Lobby this sell. I was going to go to Hobby Lobby and get me a piece. Sheet
well, that's what I'm saying. If you go to Hobby Lobby for a sheet of plastic, it's going to cost you what, $8
for a piece that's like this big.
Whereas if you go to the Home Depot store or whatever,
or Walmart,
and you buy a garage sale sign, the bigger one, it'll only cost you about $3, $4
for 4 times as much plastic.
Way more plastic.
They're about the same thickness.
Exact same thickness.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same plastic.
And then probably what I'm going to do with the leftover parts is make a rust bucket out of the Chevelle.
Right.
Probably put the Chevelle body over them polish, something like that, and have look like it's been sitting in the yard for years. And I'm gonna have the hood like it's been up for years.
A bunch of rust and leaves and grass blowing around on it, some twigs.
Then you got probably filled with water, boat anchored engine.
I would just glue the interior tub into it. Don't put the Impala chassis under it. And just kind of make it look like the front suspension's been taken out from under it, or they took it off the chassis. and it's just been sitting out there with no frame under it. Because that Impala chassis is an awesome chassis that you wouldn't want to shorten unless you're actually going to build a car with that frame on it.
The only piece I would shorten would be the back piece. Just take out a little bit of the section and just move forward a little bit. Fit it.
You want to see what I did with that chassis one day?
Sure.
Let me get to my pictures and then I'll share. Where is it?
Also, y'all guys can hop on if y'all want.
Oh, no, wrong page.
So that's including me. Only just 4 people in here.
Right.
Yeah, and 5 or 6 people at once.
There it is. All right, let me go to the share button. Here we go. This is the Impala chassis, the exact same chassis.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took a NASCAR roll cage, NASCAR dash, and then I just started filling in a bunch of the stuff around it to make a dirt track car. But this is the actual same exact chassis you have right there. And then I custom made my own body. This is garage sale sign right here. Both sides, the whole roof, the trunk, the nose is actually a Monte Carlo SS with the Chevy Lumina NASCAR. But everything else is just pure plastic. Turned out pretty cool. Put 2 air filters together and then wrapped it with the black mesh. And I just kept leaving it dusty. I didn't want anything to do with wiping it off or nothing. I was like, this is a dirt track car, you know?
And you just take it out there and just roll it around in some dirt out in the yard for a little bit. And there we go. Dirt track car now.
And this was a Viper exhaust. It had one on the other side that fell off when I flipped it over to take a picture. I'm like, God dang it. But yeah, this is that chassis and floor pan actually. But made my own little gas tank out of same for sale sign, you know. Looks pretty good to me, and then just pile on a whole bunch of decals. And then I got my 1940 Ford that I made a ramp truck out of it. And then when you slide it down, the spare tires are inside here. It's got an alternator on the rear differential that actually is connected to a belt to charge batteries that are back here for the winch and all the lights and things.
That's cool.
And I got my dirty Chevelle. Another one of my custom dirt track racers. I like the dirt track stuff personally.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably what I'm going to do for the senior tribute build. Get me a race car and put all them custom decals put on. I think it's a '66 Impala. I think is what it is. Of a race car.
The Revell 66.
No, AMT kit.
Oh.
It's like along with that '65 Ford Fairlane race car kit. It's like along with that, like same series or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know which one you mean.
I've seen it many times at my local hobby store.
Cool.
I might do that one. Then for pro mod, think about slapping on some correctors. Which these are actually drag correctors because these came out of a Mopar kit, a '69 Dodge Charger Daytona.
Yep. I really like the back ones. They're really deep.
So we use that one here.
Yeah, buddy.
Then if I can, I want to use the disc brakes on this.
It
I
all
can
depends on the wheel backers that go in it.
and put this heavy in it. I gotta put together. The big old flat top, or low top, whatever it's called.
Yep.
Still not quite sure what color the car itself is going to be. I thought about purple. Because it's definitely not being black, because I've already done two 67 Impalas in black, so.
I did a pretty wicked 67 Impala in purple with some charcoal and then outlined everything in a bright green pinstripe. Turned out kind of wild.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. I like the wild stuff.
Then can't remember. At least in the Pro Street Chevelle, isn't there extra parts in there where you can like make a stock 396?
Technically, if you have any of the other big block intakes, I don't know if that one comes with a single 4-barrel intake. I think it's just a tunnel ram.
I believe it does.
I think the Pro Street one was specifically Pro Street setup. Doesn't have your regular exhaust manifold. It's got headers, right?
Yeah. There's the headers.
No stock intake.
No, not seeing one. I must have been thinking of like another kit, I guess.
Well, I know the Revell stock 396 SS. That one only has the 4-barrel.
Probably what I'm going to do, like with the chassis, once I get done all what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to use the roll bar from this kit, put it onto the chassis and all the interior work and all that. Because it's basically kind of partially gutted.
Right.
And two, and the Impalas and the Chevelles are almost the same car, just the Impala's a little bit longer and a little bit different looking.
Yeah.
Other than that, about the same car.
Technically, other than the length of the frame, it's pretty much the same suspension and everything. Same rear axle, same motors.
They got similar front ends, but different rear ends. And then, at least when it comes to the 67s, the bodies are different. Like in the back, about the back glass here.
Yeah, I mean, body wise, they're always different. Different car, different body, but all the GM stuff was pretty much interchangeable throughout history. Especially when they're both in 1967. You know, technically, it's numbers matching motors, regardless of what car you pick.
With the 67 Impala, at least when it comes to the model kit, the 67 Impala comes with the 427, but the Chevelle comes with the 396.
Yeah, but you can interswap them because they're still the exact same big block. It's just how much bore and stroke. And who wouldn't want a 427 Chevelle? Come on. 396 is nice, but 427 is just a little bit better. Especially if it's an aluminum one.
And then I think my dad said like what he's probably do what we'll probably do with the leftover motor. We'll probably get a 69 Camaro kit. We'll put the 427 in it and make a Copo out of it, or like
Yep.
a Yankee.
Yep. Copo, Central Office Production Order.
And there's a
the
kit out.
boxes you want. Radio delete, heater delete. We're going fast.
Everything going.
I'll take power steering, power brakes, no AC,
No radio.
hand crank windows, 12 bolt posi.
Because there's a kit out there. It's a 69 Camaro SS396. The Camaro is green on the box art.
Yep.
Looks like you can use that kit right there. You can make the Copo Camaro from that. Just put a 427 in it, and there you go.
Yeah, or even just paint the motor silver aluminum. Yeah. It's a 427 painted aluminum, lightweight, super fast.
Any car can be a street car if your balls are big enough.
Right. When they're running 1,800 horsepower Nissan Skylines out there, 2,000 horsepower and stuff, yeah. It's still street legal, supposedly.
Now,
legal-ish.
Yeah. I mean, it's legal to be on the street if you keep your foot out of the gas.
My GTO was street legal if you didn't look at the bottom of it.
trying to figure out kind of how I'm wanting to do like the motor that comes with the Chevelle. Because since I'm gonna make the Chevelle basically a rust bucket, like I'm gonna have like a locked up motor that's been sitting in there. Maybe some parts are missing off of it.
Doesn't that have the heads that show the rockers underneath the valve cover?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, just leave the valve covers off and leave the intake off of it so you can see the valley pan in it. Unless it's got a flat top on the block, which I think it does.
And then probably find some like stock manifolds somewhere. And I'm probably going to save the headers that come with the kit and use it for like a race car or something.
Actually, do you have the blue 66 Chevy Nova Pro Street that comes with the extra motor?
Oh, the engine stand, all that. Yeah, that's been built twice.
So I was going to say, if you took that motor, left one of the heads off, left the intake off of it, it doesn't have exhaust. You don't need that. Then you can rust that all up and make it look like that motor's been sitting there and somebody took the head off and parked it and never touched it again. You know?
I'm even want to have like the hood stay up because I'm going to use the hood hinges that everybody throws in the box and never uses ever again.
Yeah, I got a huge drawer full of hood hinges I never use.
So I want to use them for once.
There's a couple of kits out there with hood hinges that they'll tuck into the firewall, and then when you prop it up, it'll actually click on a little spot and hold itself.
Yeah, these ones are like that. They're permanent. They permanently hold it. They don't move them.
It'd be nice if you could put a magnet into them, and then you could just use the magnet to put them on and off.
Yeah. Or just get some really thin wire and put hood pins on it. Yeah, I agree. If you got hood hinges for it, glue them on, let it stay open. Take your lighter and bend it a little, like they tried to pull it down when the hinges were all rusty and wouldn't move.
With a bend in the middle?
Yep.
And I think it'd be once in a lifetime thing. I'll probably have fun instead of being scared.
Well, just because you're scared doesn't mean you ain't having fun. when your life is in the hands of somebody else driving, it's kind of
Lo-
fun and scary at the same time.
As long as you don't scare me half to death twice, we will be fine.
Yeah, in a row.
So I knew my limits when I got my Firebird was about a 120, and the door started going like this from the dipper. Air pressure was like, that's fast enough.
Yeah, rattle, 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 rattle.
That's the last thing I wanted is for one of them to come off.
I've had my limo somewhere around the 100-mile-an-hour range. After that, because there was no real front suspension under it anymore, because they were cut when I got it, it started bouncing on every crack in the road, and she started feeling sketchy.
And probably
And
want
the
to say
speedometer only went to 85, and I know I was going way beyond that. So all I can say is somewhere around 100, 100 plus, 100 maybe. I don't know, but it was quick.
probably want to save the hood scoop. Use it for another build,
Yeah,
like
I would.
car into a drag car or something.
Nice part about hood scoops is if you build them but don't put them on the hood, you can always test them on anything you build. That's what I like about having my many drawers full of parts. You know, I can test anything. Does it fit? Does it look good? No. Oh, there's another one. Let's try that one.
I guess like one thing I guess you could say with my build I'm doing basically all I'm doing you could say is basically this body swap. How I'm wanting to do it really.
Right.
Body swap, like maybe motor swap. Other than that, it's basically the same. So I'm basically you could say like real like take the body off from the 67 Chevelle, turn around, just put an Impala body right over that. Take out the 396 and put a blown Hemi with a big old top wherever, and there we
Yeah.
go.
Technically, I mean, if you look at the frame being the same, you're technically doing a back half on the car, but you're using a one-piece chassis instead of a multi-piece rear end.
I'm gonna use the rear end, all the front suspension, all that, tires and all that. Just I'm gonna have to extend my drive shaft once I get done.
No, Kevin, I would have to reach out and touch that wall just to see that it's actually that close. If I can't reach it, he ain't 3 inches. Just don't grab the fencing. That'll rip your finger off.
We'll rip your whole arm off probably.
Thanks for the Darlington stripe, Jeff. Your dull coat's already dry?
Yeah, lacquer dries quick in here.
Oh,
I got the fireplace is lit, so the lacquer dries in here real quick. The humidity is about 28% here right now.
That's good. That's good. Jeff said he wasn't doing a live tonight. He's too tired.
Honestly, I want to end it soon because I'm probably just gonna let everything sit overnight and then probably just start working on it a little bit tomorrow.
Yep, let them rest so they don't get all full of fingerprints.
Probably have the motor fully built tomorrow and probably start gas and interior.
Later, Joe.
Who's
Yeah,
Joe?
we know, Mike. We know.
Joe.
Jeff's always like, I'm done at said time, and it's an hour later. I said I'm done at this time, and it's a half hour later.
8 hours later, 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I think I'm done now. Or officially done moving.
I try to cut mine off between 11:30 and 12.
Yeah, I wasn't on your stream, because I was at my sister's stupid track meet. Yeah, I was forced to go. Sitting there freezing my tail off in the night and all that. Didn't leave until about 10 o'clock that night. Didn't get home till about 10:30. And then finally went to sleep at 11:30.
Hey, Jonathan, you want to see what your Impala would look like in purple, kind of?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Horton.
Well, like I said, it's purple and charcoal with green pinstripes, so it's not like just purple. But at least you kind of get the idea of what it would look like in purple.
Because for like maybe between a light purple and the dark purple, like a medium, maybe leaning kind of more towards the darker purple, and probably not metallic like a gloss.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty cool car. This is the same 67. It's the AMT version. I really like the way my interior turned out. And this is just primer gray, the light primer gray. And then everything else is hand painted in there. Really like the way the doors turned out. Yeah, that was kind of fun, hand painting it. It's got the light pink or purple around the outside and then a bunch of little green in it. That was a fun one to build. That give you an idea what it would look like in purple.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Might go with a gloss purple if I stick with purple.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks, Serge. Just catching up on chat. Yeah, the only thing I wish I would have done different on that one was put another one or two more coats of clear on it to level it out a little better after hand painting all that little pinstripe. It still turned out pretty nice.
I'll probably end it in like 10 minutes, Marcy. I'll go 3.5 hours.
I'll open one up, Marcy, once he's done, because I'm going to be sitting here for a little while yet.
Cool. And give me something else to do tonight, because otherwise I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet.
I might do it next month. Might not sure. Might build that 2021 Dodge Charger I have. See how it is.
Yeah, it seems to me that one's got a lot of parts in it.
I just know that I got to do some painting on my glass pieces, the rubber trim stuff, or the glass trim or something like that. Got to go around the edge.
Yep. Where you at?
Little circus clown music.
Yeah.
You got that running through my head.
Here comes the 20 clowns out of a Volkswagen Beetle that is reduced by 3 times. Really good for a bowl of cereal right now. Bowl of especially
I think we're done with that crew.
Cereal don't sound like a bad idea. Usually my Friday nights, everybody goes out for fish fry. I have ramen noodles.
I'll probably put a pizza in the oven later on tonight. Yeah, because I'm not a big fan of the old fish fry either.
I don't mind it. It just they never invite me and don't care if I do or don't go with, so they never invite me. So I just stay home and I like my ramen noodles. It's quick, easy. It's just enough. It's not too much. No leftovers. And I'm lazy.
probably about around July or something like that, I'll be doing some more custom building. I'm turning a 1996 Chevy Dually pickup truck. I'm turning it into a pulling truck.
Cool.
I want to put a Cummins motor in it, and we'll try to convert it to 4-wheel drive if I can. Depending on if I just want to stick with the frame I got with it, or actually put a 4-wheel drive frame in it. Only frame I can think of that would fit for it is the 1978 Ford pickup truck frame. Just needs extended just a little bit.
Oh, who's here, puppers? Who's here?
And then,
No.
well, that's for diesel. Then I got 2 ideas of getting 2 square body pickup trucks. One regular bed, other one a step side. Make the step side one a mud truck. Then the regular bed one a pulling truck, like a gas one. I know of 2 kits that are perfect for that. That's the step side kit and the snowplow one.
Yeah, the snowplow one.
Just for the mud. Might probably do some shaving on the step side fenders, bed fenders. And
Jeff, you're gonna fire up alive. You lying sack of shit. See how you are? You said you weren't gonna do it. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, I'm not ready to eat yet. I don't eat dinner till about midnight anymore.
And you eat supper about what, 7 a.m.?
I ate breakfast about 3:30, I guess. Our first meal, we won't actually call it breakfast.
Yeah,
Was peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I'm the same way. I didn't get out of bed till almost 1 o'clock. And by the time I ate, it was probably around 4 o'clock.
I was up and running around and just never took the time to sit down and eat.
Yeah, I'm not a hop out of bed and eat something kind of guy at all. Man. Give me a couple hours with some coffee before I bother eating anything.
My brother came and took Mom to the fish fry at the church, so I didn't go to that because not a big fan of it. So
hopefully
I will make something. later this evening.
Right.
Kick on the air fryer. Or if I get hungry, I got microwave popcorn down here. I can throw a bag of popcorn in the microwave.
Yeah, I'll probably grab something to eat when I hop out of here before I hop into the next one. Not eat on camera like some people. Kevin.
If I can,
Or
hopefully,
Pappy. Pappy does it all the time.
Right. A lot of people don't care. They just
I
chow
don't
down
care.
when they're hungry. Cookies, crackers, something like that. Yeah, I don't call that eating. That's snacking. You can do that on camera.
hopefully it will work out and all that. But this year, I'm gonna try my best to be in the demolition derby at my local county fairs this year. Find a car. Really wanting to do full size, but like full size is like kind of hard to find around here because in our state, they did that Clash for Clunkers, and there went almost every car. So,
Yeah, that was a bad thing for automotive, man.
but I could probably go in Ohio, and there'll be a yard with like 20 cars sitting in there. Here, you probably like one or two cars if you're lucky.
Yeah, wasn't pleased when I found out what Cash for Clunkers was doing. They wouldn't they wouldn't just collect them and let somebody else come in and buy one or anything. It was if they got it, it got crushed. It's like, really? You wanted to remove them off the street so nobody could have them? That just upset me. Especially when people were handing in decent cars that were decent enough, or motors that ran, but the car was junk, or whichever, you know.
Yeah, they
That
should have done more recycling rather than just smashing. And
yeah, I mean, I just can't wrap my head around that whole idiocy, man. It just bothers me too much
Mm-hmm.
because now them cars are gone and they will never come back. Later, Jeff.
Later, Volvo.
that's how I kept my cars running. Was on my '77 Firebird, the transmission went out. I was getting could be like $800 to get the transmission rebuilt. I went to the salvage yard, bought a '72 Buick Skylark with a big block 400 and a turbo 400 transmission with 20,000 miles on it for $200.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. And if it was part of the cash for clunker things, they would not let you even take a valve stem cap off of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, jeez.
And that big block 400 turned my old anemic 305 Firebird into a fire breathing machine.
Yeah, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I had to chain the block down because when you revved on it, it made the hood rise up because that's how tight it was in there. But I took the heavy springs, coil springs out of the front end of the Buick and put them in the Firebird so it didn't sit too low in the front.
Right, and then super squat.
Yeah. The biggest issue was going from a car that had electronic ignition to one that didn't, switching back, dating
All the points.
well, yeah, they kept burning out the points because
It was
it's
sending
like
too
the
much
car was
juice
set up
to
to
it.
for a higher voltage.
You know.
So I
When I
started
had my
keeping those resistor blocks in the glove box 6 at a time. So if
when
you
I
get out
had
there and
my
power breakdown, you put a new resistor block in it.
when I swapped the motor from my limo, which had the throttle body injection junk, and I put the 74 Buick 350 in it, I had to go from ATI back to points, and I probably went through about 6 sets of points in that thing. And then I found a 78 Chevy van for $100 because I wanted the rims. Said there's no title, you want the whole thing, you can take it. And threw a little gas down the carb, the motor fired up, so I yanked the motor and tranny out of it, threw that in the limo. And that was HEI, so I didn't have to bother with it. So.
No, well, that Buick, after I pulled the motor and trans, a guy about 2 weeks where I was having it hauled off to the junkyard came by and said he wanted the tires, wheels. He gave me $150 for the 4 tires and wheels on it.
See, he didn't pay nothing for your
So I
transmission.
got $50 for the new engine and transmission with 20,000 miles on them for $50.
Yeah, that's a steal of a deal.
And while it was out, I took the transmission and wire brushed it and power sanded it up to a nice shiny aluminum. It was sharp as shit
Right.
when it went in there. Painted the block and the whole.
Yeah, such low miles, it probably didn't have a lot of greasy on it.
No, well, just I got a spray gun of not simple green, purple power, and went over it. And then I said I wire brushed the whole thing with the drill and the wire brush, and then went back and kind of put a pine sander in the sanding, a power sander, and I basically sanded it up to a nice luster.
Right.
It was cool as shit.
Polished aluminum.
Had the nice chrome valve covers with the tall wing nut
Cool.
things on there, and had to use that little Edelbrock triangular low profile hood, breather because nothing else would fit under the hood.
Right.
So even there, when you put the hood down, when you rev the engine, you could see the hood moving up and down.
All right. I'm going to end the live stream here.
Okay.
All right, John.
Anybody's
Thanks for letting us hang out with you.
In a few minutes, about 10 minutes, it'll be up and running.
Cool. We'll see you over there, Bob.
Alrighty.
And everyone in chat, till then, Jonathan, once again, thanks for letting us hang out, and we'll talk with you again next time.
See y'all next week.
Night, everybody.
See y'all on Prime tomorrow.